We back on there. Everybody all right? All right, two to be alive by the kind of Yahuah. Always, his favor, his concede. That he granted this opportunity to come and here to the bar, get opportunity to examine ourselves, make sure we get this thing right before it wind up. I made no mistake. We getting out of here. And, and I'll tell them how things will go by. Well, really, this weekend, even by what they call Monday, I heard they had tried to do a attempted assassination on Putin. That's not going to go down well. That failed. They tried a drone attack. The drone blowed up. So I'm sure he's going to respond expeditiously. It's just a matter of time. I mean, what you'll do, you're a world leader, somebody tried to assassinate you. I mean, at that point, all bets on. And you already know just about who behind it. You know they ain't doing, Ukraine ain't did it by themselves. It's the same thing. And really, it's in their charter, it's illegal to try to kill a world leader. Now, if you bomb and they happen to get killed, you can't just specifically target a world leader and kill them. So, of course, they break every treaty, every rule. They're also being sued, too. Yeah, for sponsoring terrorism. They're suing them for hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm sure they won't pay, but they want everybody else to pay up. I was watching them today. They was talking about, I don't know if y'all seen about the cult. They're talking about in Kenya where they digging up bodies. I think they got over 100 right now. Still more bodies they digging. The preacher, he didn't kill himself, but everybody else starved themselves and died. And they buried all of them, so they digging them up as they going. So they saying in Kenya that they're gonna start passing laws against these religions, where they're gonna try to go at these cults and other different religions that they deem dangerous. And this will be something global they'll do, give them the opportunity to try to come after people that take a stance against wrong. The problem I had about the people in Kenya, you Christians. So I don't know how you're gonna properly prosecute somebody when the religion you in has done more murders, done more crimes to humanity than any cult could ever do. Jim Jones only killed a few hundred. The other part, I think the biggest massacre they had, from one in Japan. He killed about, I think, like 700 people died, and he walked away with all the money. Some of the stuff you look at these people do. Look at how many you did in the slave trade. Look how many you killed when you got, all those under Christianity. They're talking about their religious leader. Who you think led them? They were Christians. You didn't think they had a preacher involved? They gave us churches. Who was teaching us how to read the Bible? Who was teaching us how to worship Jesus? Cult leaders. This is why I have a problem with Christianity. I know people calling other people get upset with it, but your own religion is cultish. You got it from people that believed in cult. They believed it was okay to hang you in a tree. They talking about somebody starving people. What did you do to those slaves you kept on ships and you kept inside those prisons? You fed them? Oh, I forgot. See, it's amazing how you pick cults out at your leisure. Nobody see Christianity as a cult. These people sit here and these people can't pay their bills and they paying tithes, and the preacher won't help it. That's not a cult, though. You just got to eat food, you got to drink poison for it to be a cult. It's amazing. I was just like blown away. I said, surely you're going to prosecute these preachers. The Catholic religion. Let's talk about how many kids get molested. That's not a cult, though, because they don't get people to poison themselves. Those nuns. I don't know how you call yourself a nun when you're getting some. I'm still confused about that. You saying you're a nun, but you're getting some. I'm confused about that. It blows my mind. You're a nun, but you're on top of these little girls, so you're getting some. I talk about Oprah a lot, but I look at the Christian religion now. That's why we broke away from them. We don't believe in their ideology and their doctrine. Christianity was good for the point that it gave us a chance to see the ignorance of worshiping Alahym. So when you come and you see that you actually been ineffective, and because a lot of us did it out of ignorance, he spared us. Like he said in the 17th chapter, I think about the 26th verse of the book of Acts of the Charlotte King, he said, the time is ignorant, Alahym winked. But guess what he's doing now? He calling every man to repent. I can't get away with that now saying what I did as a Christian. We're getting information. I can't go back to that stuff again. That's sickening. They turn and go back to it again? Please. He said, like a dog return to his own vomit. And you go wash a pig, you're going straight back to the mud. I ain't going to the mud. Isn't that right? So that one thing I appreciate the Most High. When I say one thing, it's one of the things I appreciate. That's why I love him. You know what I'm saying? Because all those things that he given us this information, give us opportunity to be able to sit down and look at this logically, analytically, and see it exactly how it lines up and see if it makes sense. Follow pattern and protocol. A lot of things we'll be looking to change. That's the thing we'll be moving into. Yahuah willing, to where we'll look and see why it's important for us to make these changes that we make. We're not just doing it. Don't think we just transition over because we transition. There's some preacher want to do. No, we want the truth. And anytime you move toward the truth, then, you know, these people are going to go along. They're going to start hollering, oh, man, now they cultists. Go look at the cult leaders. All the cult leaders you typically find, what color they been? Wow. Yeah, I mean, just look at them. David Koresh. All of them been their people. They'll name out some people color that done it, but go find who they were taught by. That's right. Branham. He was a white guy. He got everybody to break off. He was teaching this holiness. He still got them around. They call them Brownites. Y'all done say white people, you'll see with the real long hair, they won't wear no hat, no covering on the women's head. They still believe in him. They believe he went up in the mountain and prayed one time and the cloud stayed over the whole time he was over there. Because they were trying to tell everybody, Yahuah trying to tell, this is a dark place, you don't need to be him. Yeah, them people, listen, they believe in him too. Those people, listen, these people, they stripped a lot of these people down, right? I'm not negating the fact that a lot of so-called Negro preachers had done the perfect church. They did, damn it. He didn't take them, he didn't wind up having nobody kill themselves, but the fact that he killed their intelligence. Most of, any of y'all from Atlanta? Y'all remember the restaurant, the beautiful restaurant? That was owned by them, the Perfect Church. Yeah, but I think they're gone now about one. We only got one, wasn't it, Cascade? That's it. Auburn Avenue was the birthplace of it. And that gone. You remember that, the beautiful restaurant, Uncle Ted, down on Auburn? Yeah, all them little restaurants. They had one, they had Indicator too, off of Glenwood. Then it changed over to, I forgot the name of it, where I used to eat over there all the time, and them rats got too big. You realize you can't beat the rat, man. You give up. That thing no was good. God damn, man. They give you an oxtail plate, the styrofoam. You listen. I had that. Listen, you hold that thing like that right here, you just lost your food. I ain't like you hold it like this right here, you lost it. Listen, that's it, man. I dropped mine on that parking lot. I had to go in and talk to them for listen. You gotta make this right. It's in the parking lot. They had a sweet tea went with it. Man, that's the most tea I've ever drunk in my life. I don't even drink sweet tea. I drink it for now. God damn it. I don't know if they used to drop the whole sugar cane in there or what. That thing used to be, listen, them folks sweet enough, listen, they made some tea for your behind. If they ain't had nothing, you'll wait till they make it. Man, they ain't put cornbread, they put cornbread in there. Boy, you had a piece of cornbread, collard green oxtails, and I think macaroni and cheese, and let me tell you something, man, you had all that for like that. Then they used to put it, listen, when you really want to eat them right, collard green, you slice your tomato and put on top of it. God almighty, no. Listen, you got that thing used to be $6 and some change. Listen, they had a breakfast to slam. They made pancakes. Oh my goodness. Everything they cooked now was sin. And I enjoyed it too. I bathed it. Listen, I wasn't where I am now. I wasn't where I am now. All sin. And I ate it and I enjoyed it. Isn't that right? They talking the pleasures of sin. It was cooking it right down Glenwood. Man, that restaurant was so good. Listen, man, the building just fell apart. They weren't putting no money in keeping the place up, keeping the rats out. They was just cooking the food. When I tell you that thing stayed slammed from breakfast to lunch to dinner. Listen, I ain't going to the kitchen. I went to the bathroom. I go up there and get my food. I didn't want to know what's going on in the kitchen. I just need all that food in that plate. Man, listen, they cook turkey wing. God, you know how they got that flap on now? You close that top, that bad boy just push it on. He can't come. Listen, it opened the foot. You get ready to open it. Listen, that little wing tip just do it, just push it over. You say, God damn. Man, that was my eat. Oxtail and that turkey wing. That's all I wanted. That's all I ate when I wanted. And I got that bread. That bread, man, they cooked that stuff. God damn. I don't know where them center folks at. They need to come back, though. You know what I'm saying? Come back. And take some of the sin out of it. When I tell you that thing was good. What was the name of that restaurant? I forgot what they used to call them was on Glenwood. Y'all remember what a beautiful used to be on Glenwood Avenue? On Glenwood. I'll tell you, you've been all around the world. You ain't come on Glenwood. Lancaster. On Glenwood. They changed the name of it. They sold it. That was a beautiful restaurant used to be right down. Right down from Zeto. Man, if I could have just got it. I couldn't bring it to him. But y'all made me cross the street. I could let you look at one of them plates. I had one. It's sin now. Because it's too good. I know they put something they ain't had no business in there. So I know it's wrong. And they can't be that good and not be wrong. Isn't that right? I had to eat, if they own one, we had to eat across the street and pray and come back across them. Man, that thing knew it used to be good. Good to money. But anyway, we doing better. I had to give me a minute, Robert. That was a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, that one food with food and oh my goodness. Now they folk partying. Now I appreciate Chris sent that clip about. I don't know if some of y'all looked at it. It's a clip from Instagram. Where they were, I think it was Instagram or TikTok, they were talking about how they're injecting the food with the coronavirus now. Since the people won't take it, now they put it in the food and the vaccine. They're putting the vaccine inside. All right, they're putting the coronavirus. The only way you can call it a vaccine, that means it kind of counteracts against the disease. So since it doesn't counteract against the disease, it technically can't be called a vaccine. See, like if you got the polio vaccine, it's to keep you from doing what? So, the flu vaccine, all these things are to counteract the disease itself. Unfortunately, the corona vaccine is the coronavirus. It's not, and the way it works, it's not actually allowing your body to build up to help your immune system. It's actually destroying your immune system. So now they're putting it in the food. See, what people don't realize, they're running out of food. They're running out of space. They're running out of goods. That's why you got inflation. Y'all, there's no place that's not suffering inflation because you don't have the supplies for the people. And they could put on the coronavirus, but let's just do practicality. How many people died from the coronavirus? Can we look that number up? How many people that have globally died from the coronavirus? Can we look that up? Then we look at the method to the madness. I don't know the number. We'll learn it together. I ain't looked it up, so I ain't ahead of my time. We come in here when I preach. It's all just from the hip. We just come in and we'll see what does say, Mr. Just the book. Let's just look and see what the man said. What number we got? Global coronavirus death. Corona-19. COVID-19. You know, somebody argued me when the virus came out. Guess what year they said? 2021. What's the name of the virus? COVID-19. Why they call it COVID-19? Done in 2000. Came out 2021. There's some folks that don't know no better. Is that the number right now? Was that 6,915,000 people? I thought it had more than that. So if you got that many people gone, we shouldn't have that much of a shortage. We should have a surplus of whatever good those people had. Some things that don't make sense. Which tell me that they came up with the disease and they affected the people because they knew they weren't good managers and stewards of the product they had, and you need to blame it on something that showed like something came and wiped it out. It don't make, if I lose almost 7 million people, I should have somewhat of a surplus. I shouldn't have a scarcity. I should have somewhat of a surplus. And yet they still don't have no good because everything they tell you is fictional. I'm just being honest, just use your common sense. You lost almost 7, and I'm sure, you got to remember, this ain't all of them. These just the ones that they have so far by record, because you got to remember, China never reported their actual numbers. Some of these places, it's counties, and they never report their actual numbers. Then don't forget now, there are people that inflated their numbers because that's how that's how you wind up getting the monies from the government. They looked at places that was hampered heavily by the coronavirus. So those people got more financing and got more funding. So there are people that lied about their numbers. A lot of people that they said died from coronavirus didn't actually die from the coronavirus. They just died from other causes. But since we was in a pandemic, they went on ahead and counted to the coronavirus. Therefore, when they gave their numbers over and when the government got the numbers, the government said, these numbers are astronomical. We need to get funding in here. We need to get testing in here. We need to get people in here. We need to get help in here. That's how they beat us out. A lot of these people lied about their numbers. Now, let's do this. We lost 7, and what is that, year to date? Up until what they're saying last week, this month, to April the 4th? April. So then, now, April 26th. So let's go with that 7. Let's average at 7 million. So what about the people that died from cancer and AIDS? What about people that died from car crashes? What about the people that died from heart attacks and strokes? What about the people that died being murdered? What about suicide? What about abortions? See, when you put all these numbers together, how you having a shortage? Anything, you lost people. You should have a surplus. Because these people, and you need to know this, it's a system. It ain't every individual white. And I don't ever want people to think it's every individual white. But if you don't call what they call a spade what it is, you're never going to address the real issue. Y'all got what I'm saying? Even when you're playing spade, you know that it don't make sense. You know, you play spade, everybody know when the trouble starts. When spades hit the table, don't they? Whatever when folks say, what folks holler first, yeah, you can't cut too early. You can't play spades because everybody know when spade hit the table, it's all over. Everybody know. Everybody starts saying, it's bad. Spade done came out. It's going to run the game. They look at it. Listen, you got these aces in your hand and somebody got all spades. They're like, my aces ain't going to walk. And what these people did, they throw spades in the game. See, when they realized that they needed to cut the numbers, because when people find the truth that everyone in government, it ain't just American government. I don't want to just put this on American government. It's the European government. That's all on Russia, include China. That's the Asian, everybody. That's Africa. Everybody are piss poor managers when it come down to distributing and caring about people. People are never a factor other than you need those numbers so you can go and you can borrow money against them. Or you could build troops. People have, even people in military, they have no idea. There is no government that care about their people. There's not one. There's not any soldier that's stupid to believe they don't care about one soldier. Soldiers, the word soldier means expendable. Okay. White boy, black boy die, don't make a difference. They put you out there to get killed. When I put you out there, I need, listen, okay, I got troops. I'm going to drop down 45,000 troops. I'm not trying to bring back 45,000 troops. I'm not even trying to bring the weapons back. Did you know how many of y'all didn't know that? We leave the weapons there. We don't bring that stuff back because we need to get up. See, this is how they get you. A lot of the people that build for the military are ex-military people. There are people in the Senate, there are people in the Congress. So therefore, when these people walk out of here, these people are part ownership, part owners of this. So when they got other people that come behind them that they'll endorse and push. These people sign legislation, sign bills for this particular country to build bullets, tanks. Hell, it ain't just that. This is how they make their money. When you're building these things, you have to buy the screws, the wires from. You can't be the person that owns everything. Even though I'm the builder of it, you can't be. You have to outsource. You have to get the wires from one place. You got to get the screws from somewhere. You got to get the nuts to go on the screw from somewhere else. You got to get the blade. You have to get out. All I do is just put it together. That way other people can eat. You ain't going to believe it. I started a business with my son. He owns nuts and bolts. My daughter, her company, all they do is wiring. That's all they sell is cables. So when it come time for me to build, guess where I get our supply from? From my family. That's how they keep going. So this is what you got to remember. So the military sent out 24,000 troops they dropping. They bring back 24,000 troops and all the helicopters and everything. How am I been doing? I'm doing real bad. What do I need? What's going to make the military come and keep buying all these weapon supplies when they ain't using them? There has to be war. That's on why I make money. Let me tell you, when they gave y'all them numbers, $700-something billion, and they start giving away all them weapons, because there are people in Congress, in the Senate, who own this stuff. Listen, there are lobbyists that date these people, that get them prostituted, get them drugs. Most people don't know what lobbyists are. Lobbyists are people you keep separate from these people. These are people, I can send a lobbyist to you, this lobbyist can have sex to you, and it's illegal. Lobbyists can do that. I can't do it if I'm a politician. There are things I have to stay away from. They're the middleman. Am I making this up? Lobbyists can have sex. They can do anything. Most of these people, Stu, you see these people, they say they're lobbyists. You have no idea what you just saw. You think they stay in a lobby, don't you? No, these people can do anything. There are some people that try to propose bills to get rid of lobbyists because they know how this whole system works. So you get lobbyists to come in and date senators, date Congress people, to get these people and woo these people, to get them to sign off on legislation, sign off on passing bills, sign off on funding these things. They tell them, say, listen, America's stockpile is dangerously low. You know, we're looking at fighting China in 3 months. So now you just scared to piss out some people. So guess what they just said? Get them weapons made. What they cost? That's all they do, fear. Fear made you sign away all your rights in September 11th. September the 12th. September 11th wasn't the most dangerous day you had. September the 12th was. Because from that point, that's right. From that point, is that the Patriot Act hurt you. At that point, they just started saying you're a bunch of bogus buildings. Why y'all think they happen? They just happen to hit. Let me get this straight. They spent all their money calculating time. These terrorists. And all they want to do was blow up the financial infrastructure they play. They didn't want to hit the White House. They want to hit where the chief man is who passes this stuff, who allowing this to happen. They don't know where Langley at, where the CIA headquarters at. Only thing, for some reason, they just knew where the Twin Towers was. And they knew they could get 2 planes off and nobody would catch on after the first one hit. Don't you ever be that stupid. Don't you ever be that stupid. Don't y'all know when they built, this is the sad part for most of y'all that don't know. Those buildings were built, probably in the 50s? 70s? They should have been built later than that. When they built, he finna look it up. One was built in 72? Let's see it again. He putting it up now. Come on, stand up here on me, survey say. Come on. Come on now, just stand up here with me. Turn around, come on, turn around, like survey home. Come on, Kerry, this for the win here. So let's see what the survey said. Kerry said, no, you can't turn around. We want you, don't give me a don't we want him to win that $25,000? We want to get it $25,000. No, don't tell you the way. There you go, how I got my, no, survey going to say, come on. They said right here, that's for the panel. That's the construction. Okay, we'll see now. You said the construction of trade center began.
I ain't said begin, they finished. It said they finished 1 in 70 and 1 in 72. That's what I saw.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one check for being almost right and the other one for being almost wrong. Go put that up down there. But survey said, check! 1970. We seen it. Yeah, that one. 72. What year that? That's what I said. That's why I said being almost right and almost wrong. But he nutted up. He said, I got mine from the white man for me. But the thing is, when those buildings were built, they were actually built to withstand a plane hitting them. I know. Most people don't know that. They never built them with anticipating a plane wasn't going to hit them. Those buildings were built to sway. They're built to sway with the wind. Of course you don't know that. See, when they constructed, they already knew that. It's no way to not think a plane wasn't going to hit it. They knew a plane could hit it. So guess what happened? Everything they put there was fire retardant, which means they knew when a plane hit it. Guess what does a plane use to fly? Jet fuel. Not just any fuel, jet fuel. Jet fuel don't get hot enough to melt that. Most of y'all wouldn't know that with it. Guess what? So when they constructed it, they knew what kind of metal, they knew what they had to wrap it with. They knew that. We just finished the commercial project. Remember Dwayne, that project? And you remember we had to fireproof all that stuff? Everything wired to make sure everything stayed in the wall. Everything, listen, when you build, they already had this stuff constructed, even from the sheetrock, to learn how to contain and keep the fire in one place. We built and we set up to make sure that if a fire break out, it can only get so far and it's got to stop. We put stuff in that's fire retardant. So when fire try to burn, it doesn't work. So everything can be kept down to a minimum. When they built that building, they built it to build to a minimum. They knew when a plane hit it, and then when a plane hit it, it couldn't take it down. Not only couldn't take it down, it couldn't burn hot enough to melt the steel. Those planes hit, and they were hard enough to take the building. They hit going like this, and the building falls like this. It just makes sense, the impact. Let me borrow for a second. With this cartoon, if I hit him with this amount of force, which way is he going? Why would this man go down to his knees? Why would he go straight down to his knees? Wouldn't make sense. That's cartoon. They hit somebody, they crumble in one spot because they knew people didn't know any better. Then they fake you out with other news or keep the news on other things, let you keep being entertained by other TV shows so you don't start sitting down questioning. So when they start bringing up stuff, what they do, they always infiltrate right news, positive news, news that expose them with some fake news. So people are attached to the fake news and they'll disregard the truth. That's how they do it every time. You always put something in our fake to make it look like, oh man, see that whole story fake. Whole story not fake, I just put a part. Just like they do when they show you movies about stuff. I, Robot. Y'all remember that? And his boss kept trying to tell him, he said, robots don't have feelings. They can't program. Remember he had the gun, he said, they're not programmed to say they like, and that robot did it. Because, listen, they've been had these things out of control. Ain't it amazing how Will Smith kept trying to stop those robots? They were like, why was he so adamant? Because he was one of them? Yeah, that's how they get you off on it. See, they've been having a problem with these robots. These robots are not new. These robots are old. They've been working on them. And they haven't perfected them. That's why you don't have them. Just like cell phones. They had cell phones in the 50s. When did you get yours? 90. Look how long it took before I could give it to you. What you think I had to do with it if I gave it to you? I had to make sure I can control it. I made sure I can listen in. I know I can connect to it. I had to make sure I do everything. They started learning. Guess what we learned with these cell phones you do? Take the battery out of them. So guess what the new phones we gave you? What? What's that about? So that way, even when you cut them on, see, they keep learning where the defect's at. They can ping you. Everything you set around, you tell them, they get your phone, they can ping you. It can get them everywhere you been. Because you bouncing off of towers. So you tell your lie where you ain't been, I don't need nothing but your cell phone. Your cell phone is bouncing off a tower. I can tell exactly where you at. So it give me an approximate location where you been. And you study lying. And your phone steady telling the truth. Most of y'all don't know either. They have tag readers. I'm not talking about the ones on the car. That's the one he's agreeing to. He doesn't know. That's not on the tag readers they have. Your tags are being read when you're out here. I know. You weren't supposed to know that. It's not hard to find any of you. Your tags will tell everywhere you've been. They know exactly where you've been. You're not supposed. Why would you supposed to know that? Because this is what you're supposed to think. You're supposed to think that police car that got those things on the back of it are the tag readers, and it's not. They can find you whenever they want to. They know exactly where you've been. People don't know it. I'm making this up. They have no idea, do they? They know exactly where you've been. See, people rights that they think they haven't. You don't. You ain't been nowhere they don't know. Y'all love that GPS on your phone. Till when I go somewhere, you ain't gonna believe what I ask people to do. I tell them, look it up on their GPS. Ask them when I do it on mine. Because the only way to do your GPS is you have to tell me your location. So I can map you out. Don't worry about it. Like they said, as long as you ain't doing nothing wrong. But there are white people who disagree with that as I do. It ain't about you doing wrong. It's about somebody trying to control your thoughts and everywhere you move. You have a right to your freedoms and your liberties. Even to the privacy in your home. They give you a TV. You know what they call your TV? What's so smart about your TV? All you're doing is flipping channels. It's been doing. Why your other TV was so dumb? What was so dumb about your other TV? I know, I'm just saying, what was so dumb about your other TV? What was it doing? When you turned to a channel, it wouldn't pop up? He said, man, that's dumb. Boy, that's dumb. What made your other TV dumb? It's the fact that your TV can watch you. That's why your TV got a camera on it. While you watching it, it can watch you. That's why it's smart. Your TV can pick up sounds and vibrate. You think you got to push the mic for your TV to respond. So you think. Your TV can listen to you. Just like your phone does when you lay it down and you leave it alone. Your phone is scanning. That's all your phone doing is scanning. Sometimes you'll watch that little button on your phone spin. You're trying to figure out what that thing doing. It's doing what it's been designed to do. It's a smartphone, smart TV. Why don't they ever call you smart? Why are you not smart for buying it? Nobody calls you smart. Your TV doesn't say, you so smart. Oh, you're so intelligent. Do your TV ever call you intelligent? You do all the talking about how smart your phone is, how smart your TV is. Because that's how you take control. You always want to control. So you can't ever leave masses of people open to having their own ideas or ideology. Let me tell you something. A lot of these cults, like these people that they digging up, let me ask you a question. Who you know got time to bury 100-some people? I'm talking about dig deep and bury all of them. Individual, not together. Who got that kind of time? You mighty musty. How long it take to build? Just think about, hey, anybody ever dug before? How long it take you to dig a grave? The fact that you done dug 100-some graves and spaced them all out. How long exactly did this take? And cover them back up and they still discovering and finding people. Could it be that this man ain't killed these people, that a system did? And that they'll use this and they'll show everybody, all these other cult leaders, and they'll get them to pass laws and rules to have a dominant over religion. See, it's too many religions out. They've tried to destroy Islam through saying the tower was hit. We didn't get it. Every time you watch, let me tell you what they did here. They introduced their war. This, okay, most of y'all wouldn't know this, okay? The uniforms that they made for Desert Storm, they actually made those in the 70s. They made them when they were coming out of Vietnam. Those are not new colors. Everybody got the Desert Storm uniform, you had them. They actually made those when they came out of Vietnam. What did that tell you? They were already planning on going in the Middle East. Those were not in uniforms they made from September 11 and before September 11 in the 80s. They made them in the 70s when they came out of Vietnam. Okay? This is what else they did before they went and you didn't pay attention. Go back and start looking at your movies in the late 80s, in the 80s coming up. If you watch all your movies, they were all focusing on terrorists. Look at the race, skin, and color of the people. First person they introduced you to, they started showing it to you. Before they showed you them, they were showing you the European, they were showing you the Russians. Arnold Schwarzenegger did one. Well, then when he had his hair cut, he was a Russian police. I remember that? Red Dawn. And it was the Russians. See, because they were planning on fighting the Russians. See, most of y'all don't know. All this stuff is, see, Hollywood is a part of the system they use to program to make you look a certain way. Then they showed you Invasion of the USA. They had Chuck Norris. They gave you a white man killing and fighting these people. So then they looked at we had to change the narrative because now we got to go to the Middle East. So they start showing you other people. They start showing you these people and showing you Islamic people. All these people Islamic. All these people that, so you start watching them. They gave you a description. Their head will be wrapped. Their skin feature, their coat, you'll hear this language. You start watching them, and white people panic every time they see something. So they just automatically make you start hating people and looking at people. Then they realize they got to borrow money from them. So they change the narrative. Listen, they ain't the only people they trained you with. They trained you against Chinese people. They started showing you people when Chinese people were coming, they had to fight Chinese people. Rambo fight them. See what I'm saying? Had to fight them in Cambodia and all these different places. They fight because they keep changing the narrative before they fight. They got to you need imagery. You need to know who they hate. You can't just you just hate who? I can't. So I need to give you a picture and a description of somebody they hate. So now they need to attack religion. They need people to be under Christianity. Christianity keeps you to be passive. Christianity don't teach owning guns, weapon, protect yourself. Christianity teach letting other people kill you with guns. This is how you get the Holy Ghost. This is how you get saved. All I want to do, I want white people to be saved. I want white people to get the Holy Ghost. Give up your gun, white people, so you can get the Holy Ghost. But for some reason, they don't want to save my black soul. My black, worthless, pig-eating, pig-foot-eating soul. Why white people don't want to be saved? All they got to do is come turn their guns in. I'm going to give you a $50 gift certificate or a turkey, and you can receive the white Holy Ghost. But for some reason, it's only our ignorant people that find upon themselves to turn in guns while they still own them and have them, and nobody say they going to hell. They never say, well, we just going to go. It may be different. They say, well, I'm good with just burning and going to hell. I want you saved. They don't even tell you that because they already know. Everything a lot of time that you believe that's taught to you by religion is almost 99%, 100,000% fake. So what we do is going back, looking at things and watching how things are written and how things are given to you. Just like they'll come in. See, another thing they need you to do, they need you to watch when you read and not pay attention. You really don't pay attention. How they make things look wrong is the way they write. When you start off in school, who coaches their teacher? In school, who coaches their teacher? They'll coach you. So anything, let's just be practical. Anything ain't American spoken, it's stupid. You try to talk to me in your English. Talk to me. Just talk with it loud and hear me. You know what she's saying? This nigga is stupid. And it's natural because they teach you that. I have to be stupid. She just asked me an intelligent question. How am I doing? And why would I be doing all that? Because I'm either dumb, stupid, or retarded. No doubt I'm uneducated because I don't speak English. See? Come on. We never looked at people like that. Come on. Who gave us that? So how you think people look at you and how you think they look at you? What they say? They can't speak the language. You need to get out of here. Oh, they ain't never said that. That was us said that. That's what they said. That's what they do when they don't need you no more. That's how they do. They build a wall after they don't need you. Why you didn't build that wall before? Why you didn't build that wall and left the Alamo alone and left part of Texas wouldn't even be Texas. It'll be Mexico. But see, they don't want you to think. Religion is only supposed to get you in and teach you to pray with your eyes closed, hope for the unforeseen, and just trust and believe anything. And always just think positive and good, and things will come to you. Let me get on top and start being you and start thinking positive. You ain't going to be thinking long. I'm going to hit you somewhere real good. Because they teach you that, but they won't do it. Tell them to say, I want to try it on you. I want you to be saved. Go to white people. I want you to be saved. I want you to give me your guns. I want to beat you. I want to hang you from a tree with a rope so you can make it to heaven. You know, they're going to look at you and say, that is the dumbest, stupidest thing I heard. So I was thinking the same thing. I was really thinking the same. See, everything they told you, they know it don't even make sense. You said white people said slavery was one thing that happened at that time. Won't we reenact at this time, though, you be the slave? Watch and see how, look how they look at you. That's stupid. Why would we do that? So that's the same thing I was thinking. Why did you do it? See, nobody want to hold them to accountability. Like what Brazil and China and Russia and Saudi Arabia and all these people doing. And all these people look bad. And they are bad. Make no mistake, they are bad. But they just looking at somebody else who made a bigger fool out of them. And you know why people all decide to get themselves together and organize themselves and then stop infighting among each other. They cut Syria off since 2011. They bringing Syria back in. You know, they start realizing, I really have no problem with you. He did. He made his problem my problem. Iran and Saudi Arabia stopped communicating for 7 years. These are two oil powers. And you know, they realized, I didn't have no problem with you. These people had a problem with you, and they made me have a problem with you. You know how many people you hate you ain't got a problem with? Oh, don't forget, you know who took all our job? The Mexicans. Who gave it to them? So they took them. Who let them keep them? Who should have told them, no, I can't get this job? These are black American jobs. These jobs are already occupied by somebody. But they make you fight the person who they say took your job. Who gave it? Did you give it to them? Wow. Especially when they used the term they were illegal. How did they get it? If I illegally take something, the court gonna let me keep it? That's amazing. And this ain't about, this is not a message about the wrongs of white. It's about how all these things affect the way you think today. You just don't know how it affects the way you think. So like what we do now, we're going back and looking at things because it's not written the way whites typically write and how they do subject matters and how they do things, you tend not to pay attention to things. Okay? So we'll look at something. How about that? Since we're talking. I don't have nothing wrote up, nothing made up, but since we're up talking, anyway, right? Y'all know where we're going to start. Why we start here? Foundation. This is Romans 15:4. Let me see something. Okay. Listen.
For whatever Nikatab before.
Whatever was written before.
Nikatab Talamadus.
It was written to teach us, show us, and instruct us.
So that through endurance.
Going through without quitting.
And through the Nakum of the Ketubim, we might have Tikva.
Wonderful, isn't it? Let's just look at something. See that Ra Shyth 1:1. Listen.
Ra Shyth, Alahym created the Shamayim and the Arats.
Hold on, what did you say?
Ra Shyth, Alahym created the Shamayim and the Arats.
What does it say at verse 1 at the top?
Ra Shyth, bara Alahym at ha-Shamayim at.
That doesn't even sound correct, what you just said. What Lee just read then doesn't sound correct. Typically because of how English and how they write. They'll deal with subject, then verbs, and then objects. Here, if you watch with us, we deal with verbs first. That's the difference in how we work. You ask yourself in the writing, in the beginning, create Alahym. Why wouldn't you say in the beginning, Alahym? Because we dealt with the verb. The verb is action. And what you said? Oh, Big Cookie. He's right. That's how we dealt. That's how we write. That's how we spoke. See, they gave you old broken English and the way they write, the way they this look. If you go look at any of these modern books you take, anybody want to go modern and read it in English, watch they bring you right back to their discipline. That's not how we dealt. We actually deal with the verb. We'll deal with the verb. We'll deal with the object. Then we'll deal with the subject. So it's a difference, and the reason why you need to know these things, because why I have to move around when I'm looking at things, I'm always wondering why. Why do I keep moving? Why I'm not settled on some of this stuff? Because it's things you have to go back and start looking, and you have to watch. They got you so blinded into what they do. So how's the whole world operating since you speak English? So everybody in the whole world speak English. Because whenever Joe Biden goes somewhere, for some dumb reason, he needs interpreters.
That's true.
That means the whole world dumb. Putin don't speak English. Speak Russian. All these people speak their language or their culture and their people. All these people are different because their culture is different. They sold you into a culture that's not yours, and they blinded you to believe that everybody else is wrong because they don't script the way you script. So when you read things, it's automatically wrong. I've never seen that before. Barrett, where? Where he sheet at? Okay. Only one. I see you in the mouth, cool. She asked y'all who want to go back. With Yahuah. So now, when you look, he told you in the beginning, Alahym. He said, your God created. And he wrote in a way to keep you from thinking or questioning or believing. So now religions fight each other based off of this script that not even our script. It's not even correctly written from where it is here. Because we dealt with the verb. We want to deal with what he did. Let's see. Let's think about it. When they asked in the, let's see. Musa went up to see Alahym. What did Alahym give him? The Shem? When Musa went up to see him. What did Alahym give him? He gave him the attribute. You are exactly correct. He gave him the attributes. And guess what Musa wanted to know? They're going to want to know, what's your name? When they get the verb, they're going to want to deal with the object of the subject. So when they take us and they put us in these places, they strip us of any intelligence that we had before we ever met them. See, this is the problem you have. A lot of times you have to remember, there was a life before we met them. The way American history, I'm sure if I was in China it'd be the same. It's going to only deal with Chinese history to a start. This American that we read about, there was a world existing before 1419, before 16, whatever time he came here, 79 or whatever he claimed he came here. What was going on before that? He doesn't even script to tell you about what happened, where he came from. Because it's not important. I didn't know how you left. You know what's amazing? How many of y'all applied for, how many of y'all work for a company or corporation where they file an application? Did they ask y'all any particulars? Before get, like what? Date of birth, social security, age, name, race, what kind of previous history? Job history. Let's deal with now. I'm here now. You need somebody now. Why do you need to go back 10 years? Why do you need to go before? Because that's going to be prevalent, and it's going to be something I need to know before we move forward now. What were you doing previously? And before that, you don't have that history, do you? Yet you employed it. Amazing. Amazing. Go put in a job, start out the day. They're going to say, so this your first time? This your first time working? This your first job? They're going to need to know. So because typically, it's some people on your first job. Let me get your school history. What information do we really have about these people? Other than what they told us. Did we check into their references? We just employed them and made them our master. So now, when we look at this and why we have to move around and why we do so much moving, because we're just trying to pay attention. I'm trying to watch it look, because it looks crazy. Because I look at this book, I got the Tanakh at home, and I look at the Tanakh, and it's written from right to left. You know what I'm saying? Written to right to left, and you get it, you look. But then when you read it, I said, this is the same thing King James say. So they fooled me, because they put the words and said, the back is the front. And that's what's bad. You know you read backwards. You read backwards. And that in itself, then we wonder why our kids can't catch on. We start from right to left. Listen, think of the premise. He made each how? Key word. The only way to stay right is to keep you right. That was the whole purpose of the right, to keep you right. When he come back, you ain't going to believe what he's going to do with the sheep. He's going to put them on the right. So there's a purpose to the way we write and the way we do things, the way we recognize things. He just totally discombobulated us. We're not even in the runnings. Y'all know that? We've been, I guess, like castigated. We so messed up. He's punished us to the ultimate limits to where, I mean, we don't have a defense against it. We don't have a defense. We basically sit on offense, and you just waiting on something to just come and attack and take you down. That's it, being honest. I mean, he beating you every time. He can safely let you go anywhere and study and sit down and practice because they already know you're not going to come together. You're not going to fortify yourselves. You're not going to do anything really constructive. Anything religious they do, it be in a room. When they leave the room, that's the power. He ain't what? Think about it. I ain't afraid of it. Listen, let's do this. So when the slave master first brought the Negro him, he brought him out of the ship, and he just set him down on that and just left him over there together. I see you shake your head. Why you say that? Why would you say no? Why you say it won't be practical? Yeah, just leave them down. Why? Rebel against me. Why would they do that? I took them from somewhere. So he's exactly correct. I agree. How many of y'all disagree? I don't. I agree 1,000%. So think about this. What had to happen to let all us sit in this room together? And he ain't here watching us. He didn't ever, because the people he took, he knew how they looked at him. He knew how they viewed him. He knew them people weren't sitting there saying, Lord Jesus, I want you to forgive me when I kill one of these white people. That had never came in their mouth, had never been a prayer. Anything they asked for strength to kill them. But once you seduce the people enough, once you oppress the people enough, once you strip the people enough, guess what you got? You got us. You got us. You got us. So we don't want to know. We want to deal with that. Then think about it. And this is honest for everybody. Think about it. The average of us just trying to make it. And that's why you don't let us become successful. You always want to nigga that conversation. I said, what gonna care? How you done, man? That's all we trying to do, trying to make it. White people don't have that conversation. Why they be trying? They doing it.
Yeah.
See, I need that. I need that. And you know they say empower in your word. You know what? I ain't struggling by myself. Kara's struggling too. So they come to church, get what people want. They don't want no freedom from white people. They just want to make it. You got a bunch of people just trying to make it. He's safe. He can go back to doing what he was doing. He used to come and check on that, the Negro sitting in the barn and teaching and going on and watching and make sure the Negro staying on task, make sure he teaching. They had to sneak off to teach anything different. They would have to sneak off later while the master's sleeping. They would go off in woods and get together, and that's where they would sit down and strategize and talk. Then later, after the quote-unquote ending of slavery, the so-called Negro, when they had their churches, they would sit in their churches, they would strategize, look at what were they going to do about their kids. Those people were concerned about their kids, a future for their kids. They understood where they were and what happened and how they were, and they wanted better for their kids. They wanted education for their kids. That was a trap too, and the white man knew eventually he would move toward that. So you finally got your kids integrated in school. How well is that worked out? What? So he was watching you the whole time because he always had one among us that let him know what we were doing. So they talking about they won't get a school, get them in a school. I told them a bad idea. He knew you were coming, you were going to fight. He had to make it look like you had won the fight. So I asked you today, did you win?
Nope.
Made you thought you won. More of your kids kicked out. More of your kids suspended. More of your kids are failing. More of your kids are homosexual. You beat that cracker. You lost control of your kids through the school system. I can't whoop them. Police can. Mm-hmm. I can't touch them. I can't fuss at them. I can't tell them something wrong. But this is what they strategized for, because they saw that they needed this, and this will get them their freedom. This will give them an opportunity to be like their oppressor. Now you are.
Yep.
You're a hypocrite. You're a liar. You have no integrity.
Yep.
And you're less than a man.
That's right.
You're a non-functioning woman. You people have made it.
Yep.
We finally made it success. The equivalent of any bad white people out here. We the worst people. A lot of stuff you heard we do. Yeah, we had molesters and people like that. Not to the magnitude we got now.
That's right.
Our people increased in numbers. I ain't gonna tell you we ain't have them. We always had them. We've always had homosexuals. Not to the numbers we have them now. But he knew it, the only way to beat you is to weaken a nation. This man weakened a nation. How many of y'all seen A Few Good Men? When Tom Cruise came out there and he got Jack Nicholson on the stand, and he had got him, and he finally got him to admit he had called for that cold rate. He got him. He told him, he said, congratulations. He said, son, you just weakened a nation. He let him know I sat on the wall. He let him know I sat on the wall. I'm here to defend. That was his end. He let him know when you think that you got me by trying to look at this weak, he looked at that was a weak gene in him. And this weak gene was only going to do it was going to take down the rest of the people. Because this guy was weak and he was cowardly. And he was going to hurt the people. Your own Torah told you if there's somebody among you that was weak and cowardly, he said send him home. He told him let him go back. Lest he do what? He make the heart of the men go weak. That's how they get you. You know who you cheer for? You cheer for Tom Cruise. Because Jack Nicholson wanted to get a weak gene out. He saw a weak gene. Demi Moore, y'all remember her in the movie? And the other guy who was with Tom Cruise asked her, he said, why do you like these guys so much? She said, because they sit on the wall. And she said, they said, tonight, nobody going to get you while I'm on watch. She said, that's why I defend them. Somebody sitting on the wall watching, making sure tonight ain't nobody going to harm you. But they give you a movie and you'll cheer for Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise your hero. They gave you another movie, Law-Abiding Citizen. Y'all saw that movie? Wasn't that terrible how that man killed them people? He was a law-abiding citizen. His wife and his kids were raped and killed in his face. He only killed the people that killed his wife. He only attacked the other people that killed him because they were trying to prevent him. They were trying to make him the criminal. And there was Jamie Foxx, the hero. He cut a deal with the guys that raped the man's wife. Can you imagine on the ground, beaten, taped up, tied, and you watch a little girl in your face with two guys raping her. Then rape you and kill both of them and let you live. And when you kill them, matter of fact, you kill one of them who will already get a death penalty. While he was dying. They didn't like the way you killed him. They wanted to do it. You watch Sunday movie, you got to ask yourself, are you serious? The citizen became the criminal. But see, they show you how they keep you, and they call it, well, what the problem was, it was what we call vigilante justice. If I don't get to do it, it ain't right, is what they call it. That's what it was. They tried to teach it. Think of what is a law-abiding citizen? That is a citizen that followed the laws. And they showed you what happened with that, didn't they? They show you, I make you a criminal. They gave you a movie. It's very entertaining. You watch it. I teach y'all how to watch stuff with intelligence. He can give me any movie he got. I can show him the intelligence of it. I can tell him what he was trying to display, and I can tell him what I picked up from him. Hello? They give you pictures. In psychiatry, they'll give you pictures. Tell you, look at the picture. Tell me what you see, and there's no wrong answer. I turn the picture around and ask him, what do you see? It's not about what I see, it's about what you see. I want to know what you see so I can see if I can agree. You're going to give me some pictures. You want me to look at it and make something? All I see is a mess. Tell me what you see. It's not for you to ask me questions, it's for you to answer questions. You sound like my oppressor. Why would I think there's nothing behind you showing me some pictures that nothing can be made out of and you want me to sit here and make something out of it? What don't you see? Let's start with that. What don't you see in the picture? And I'll tell you if I agree. Oh, they look at me not crazy. Something wrong with preaching. Ain't that wrong? I mean, listen, it's just, come on. It's just certain things you just have to really think about. Just ask yourself, how you get yourself pulled into so much stuff? Because he dukes you into things. He makes it tell there's no wrong answer. If there's no wrong answer, they don't need to answer it. If it's a test you give me, it don't matter what I get on right or wrong, I still pass. Or it don't matter. It don't make sense to take the test. But I want you to take the test. It doesn't make sense. You have me doing things that are useless. It serves no purpose. And that's what they got us at. The so-called Negro, if he look at what he's done, he served no purpose with it. He served no purpose with Jesus. He served no purpose with Christianity. He's only been behind. If you look, the person that's been condemned the most has been you. When did Christianity told you and taught you to look at white people, your oppressors? When has it? When had Christianity ever justified your dislike for his antics? No, you're wrong for the way you feel. You just need to forgive. He won't do it because he don't believe it. I don't want anybody to give me nothing they don't believe. Santa Claus, you don't believe, why you want to give it to me? It's just something I just rather not do it. If you don't believe it, don't give it to me. Get him, this taste, like people say, this is something, ooh, this tastes nasty, taste it. So what, I think you some kind of fool? Why I'm trying to get you to taste it? You said nasty, I take your word for it. Why I need to taste it, see it nasty too? He convinces you. He plays with your intelligence. And all I try to do is get our people to think. And the reason why we're having this conversation now, because our endeavor is to make sure we get this thing right. And the reason why we've gotten it wrong is honestly been because of how we see things. It's all about how you see things. People can shade things. People can cover things. People can hide things. So it limits. If I hide it, you don't see it. And that's what they done with the truth. They hid it. All you've seen is lies, and I told you lies were the truth. See, you deal with a people that hadn't been fair with you. Now all I try to get you to do, if you just look at everybody that's handled you, you look at everybody who's giving you ideas, or people who's encouraged you to do things, look at where it really is guiding you, and what were their motives? You know, it's amazing. If I had shot her, killed her, that's not enough that you guys witnessed and saw me shoot this woman and kill her. It's not enough that they have a weapon. It's not enough that I've been captured. They need to know motive. What was the deciding factor? What drove me to? Was this a love affair gone wrong? Was this a hate? Was this a birth? Something happened here. What did they tell you about slavery? You don't need no motive. It was just slavery. What was your motives? So I can see if it's still moving today. And they do that so you can start examining to see how many other people had the same ideology. You don't think like that. You just think that's it, clue, done, over. Why don't you ask these questions? What was his real motive? How did you get us all the way to this point now and you still ain't free? Because you don't know his motives. You don't know it's still going. You thought his slavery was just you being captured and you staying on his property. Now you living in your own houses that you had to pay the government taxes for. So is it your house? Or are you staying on the plantation still? Can you be taken out of that house? So are you out of slavery or are you still on the plantation? Do you really work for yourself or do you work for him? Because he's still going to collect the taxes. Just like he collected the goods too. Those people out there were owner operators and subcontractors that couldn't go nowhere. Still regulated and ruled by them. See, and you don't see these things the way you need to see them. See, this is why you think you're free. He's giving you this whole idea of what you think and what you see. He's giving it to you. You never had an opportunity to look at things for yourself. You never paid attention to look and question things and look at how he writes and how your writings look. And you realize he took everything he has from you. He took everything he has from you. His writing's not old enough. He took it from you. Hello? Him, the Greeks, the Latins, everybody took from you. And scriptures started putting disciplines on their stuff because their disciplines were different than yours. And all I'm trying to do is get us back to his discipline because it ain't about him. It ain't about hating white people. Please, if that's the message you got, then that's where you at. Everybody, and I'm not going to tell nobody not to because that's your choice. You don't need nobody else to make you do nothing else. Everything you need to do, it need to be something that you sat down and you felt assess for yourself. I'm being honest. I'm not the person to go around and make nobody start hating white people. White people need to do that on their own. My end is not to try to encourage the hate. My end is to try to make sure I inform the people. So when you have the information, then the choice is yours. Just like the salvation. What I ask y'all, why are you here? My job ain't to make nobody sit in here to serve. These are choices you make based upon where you at, based off of what you hear and what you know and your experience and what you're trying to do. That's it. That's it. These are your choices. This is your life. You might say, well, you know what? In my life, I got the right to do what I want to do with it. And you're exactly right. Just be ready to pay for it later. That's right. If the choice is wrong, let's be ready for the alternative. What's the alternative if your choice is wrong? So when you said and you make that choice on, this is what I'm going to choose to do, this is what I believe, this is what I'm going to do, make sure you've done all your examination. Make sure you've done all your questions. Make sure you got enough answers. You got enough supporting information to sustain you, because people going to come and going to disagree with what you're doing. I wouldn't dare tell you, I wouldn't do it. That's crazy. I'm not, I don't have nobody talking to me. I'm not going to be sitting all that time. That's crazy. He don't take out of the God I serve. He don't, well, you keep serving him. You know what I'm saying? He's short with you and everything else, and that's how long he going to, everything you say, you got to be good with it. Y'all got it. That's what you got to do. It ain't for you to go, you know, some people, I want you to go out and make disciples of people. Leave these people alone, because I don't need everybody. Because I can't use everybody. I can't use everybody. I got some friends, and you'll still have them. They just won't be members. Yeah, just be honest, because I don't have that type of time. Do y'all understand when I take people in, you have me. You have me. Y'all got me. You have me in a defense to what you need, you and your family. That's me. You think I can afford to get at everybody? I know some people, them people might make it, you might be out of here. So like they said, it ain't good for folks to know everything you know. So go tell them you know them and say, it ain't good to tell everything you know. Ain't that right? Don't tell everything you know. People don't realize, this is for a selected group of people. I ain't talking about not just you guys. Please don't. This is for a selected group of people globally. This for the world. This man ain't taking everybody. This man told, he said, many call. Ain't but a few. Can you imagine everybody come? He said, I only use it. You're thinking, well, all those got called. Because I was picking through. That's all that man do is picking. And the fact that this man will see fit to pick you, that's big. That's big. There's a lot of people rejected. I know in your eyes you don't see. You see rejected sit on the street crying. These people riding cars, laughing, having fun. They going to the party right in the club. They at the liquor store catching their check. And you know why they're doing it? Because they've been rejected. Now there's some that doing it that he going to call them in the latter end. And there's some that going, he said, I ain't even going to bother them. I'm not going to bother them people. I don't want nobody to witness to them to bother them. Leave them alone. Y'all know what Yahuah told when he seen some people telling them wrong? He said, leave them alone. Can you believe he told them to leave them alone? He said, they be blind leaders of the blind. He said, if the blind lead the blind, that's two people gone. He said, that's how it works. He said, let them fall in the ditch. He said, I have no reason to bother. I don't know where these folks get this stuff from. You don't find a message where he was just out preaching to everybody. You know who Yahuah was talking to? The Yahudim that among on him. See, these people want me to do what they want me to do. I don't see why he ain't on the street saving people. I don't see why your mama didn't lock her leg when your head came out. I don't see why she didn't do it. That was the perfect time. Do y'all know why I say that? Because this is written that if the firstborn, if it be a donkey, that they call an ass, then you're supposed to break his neck. He said you can't redeem an ass. She seen you come out. She should have crossed her leg. Lock that thing like that and pull 2 times. That been it. That's what you're supposed to do. The first one come out, he said, if it's an ass, because everything that came from the matrix, from the womb, he said, the first break, he said, Yahuah said, he said, that's dedicated to me. He said, now if it be a donkey, a Kamar, he said, if it be a donkey, he said, not that one. He said, break his neck. He said, break his neck. He said, I can't redeem it. See, there's some folk, he'd rather his neck be broke, because you can't redeem him. Did y'all know that? Interesting conversation, ain't it? That's how we work. Well, so we looked at that because I want people to understand why we do so much transition from moving, from different, because I'm really trying to feel through our way like they did less happily. We're trying to find him. That's what we're trying. We're really trying to find this man. We want to get back to the plainest point of what he said. We don't want to put no spin on it. We don't want to add nothing to it. We just want, what did you say? What did you mean when you said it? How did you want it done? And then I know I can do it. But if I'm going to look and somebody else done tamper with it, been tampered with 15 times over and given to me, you can't expect me to get it just like you said it. These people said, you can't expect me to get it just like you said. Too many people handled it. Too many other people have disciplines. That's why when it comes out of his name, it's so many different writings to it, because everybody got a discipline. Nobody can, all of a sudden, nobody can't do nothing he said. See, we can't write it like that. Why you can't write it like that? All you do is write it. That's not our discipline. Now you got to ask yourself, what other discipline they got that keep you from doing what they need you to do? Why y'all think everybody got a different writing to his name? It's because of the way they script. And they put a discipline with it that you can't alter and they can't turn from it. And these are the people that teaching you about getting to him. But they discipline won't let them come and do what we're doing. See, and I was laying that out, but yet, you ain't going to believe what everybody call Kim Jong-un. You ain't going to believe it. What you say they call him? Kim Jong-un everywhere. I don't know how they do it because the discipline don't let you do it. So they pick and choose whatever they want to do. Everywhere that man go, you ain't gonna believe what his name is. That's what it is. And everywhere he go, when it comes to Yahuah, many names. When he told you that? When he told you he was many names? Because they pick and choose. You don't believe they call Joe Biden everywhere he go? Stupid. Everywhere he go, it's the same thing. Everywhere he go, they call him the same thing. Hey, stupid. He said, Joe Biden, it's in our language, our discipline. It won't because they discipline. Certain discipline won't let you break it. That's why I can't say Joe Biden. I got to say stupid. Look at your decision. $50 trillion stock market unlocked. 50 trillion. He ain't did 4 years. You met $50 trillion have been lost in the stock market. I got money now. My discipline let me call him stupid. Y'all got where I'm from. That's what we call him. You know, when he come around my place, that's what I call him. Yeah, anytime he come around the boom boom room, that's what I call him. I call him stupid. Yeah, all the decision. I call him stupid. So again, the goal is to make sure we are saved. And I say stuck humans. You know, we give respect to whom respect. Joe Biden. But my discipline still say stupid. But honor to whom honor, tribute to whom tribute. Oh, nobody nothing. The end of what we're trying to get is the end of this thing, and that's our salvation. That's the whole purpose of why Yahushua came, to redeem us. And in order to do that, when he tells us that we should all be taught of him, then to be taught of him, we need to know exactly what he does, what he likes, what he doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? What he prefers. Y'all got that? Y'all know what he prefers. And that's something, I've dealt with some people that ask my name, they said, what do you prefer to be called? I said, interesting. Well, I'd rather be called Tony. So, because some people, look, I know what the name is saying. What do you prefer? Because they want to know, in order for this to keep going, I want this to be an engaging thing. If I'm calling you something that you really don't like, it's going to kind of hamper this conversation with him. So let's start the conversation. First, I want to know, what do you prefer to be called? Or they'll say, is that what you want to be? Do you prefer to be? You say, it's not. Since you asked, I'll tell you what my preference is. So how about if when we polite, we pray instead, we keep telling them to give us stuff, what do you prefer we do? Because we basically just been doing and going, but we never really sat down and say, what do you prefer? It makes a difference. Because this is going to be a lifelong engagement we're doing with him. So it's to our benefit to sit down and consider, correct? Yes, sir. Can we look at that Oliver chart? We'll start here. I know we talked about we're going to go over. I don't know. Just follow, however we see fit. I know we said, it's just follow. Let discipline. Boston sent me some stuff, man. We got to sit down and preach. We got to sit down and look at. We want to get what we need and what we know and what not. Forget anything we know if it goes contrary or contradict. But we want to make sure we halak in what he would have us to do. And that's why I want us to be, so I want you to clear your minds. And the reason why I look at this chart is because if this is what we know as the earliest writings, communication for our people, this typically going to refer to any people more or less around that region, the Mesopotamia region, that they all use some of the same scripting. Okay, you don't find these people, you don't find where Abraham went, these people, and they couldn't communicate because everybody would have been on one tongue, one language. He even told you that when they went to build the tower. Everybody had one language, so it makes sense. These people coming out of these tribes, it makes sense. Even the writing tell it was a one language, so it makes sense that everybody with a script together. These people act like writing, they come in to Mushah start talking. I don't believe that. I believe these people, he had this early writing scripting for a reason, because typically people in that region all script similar. They all scripted similar. So we're looking at what did they know. We talked about these before, the olive head. We talked about the beth, the home, the house, the having a plan. You know, amazing when you build a building, you have to protect. They're called it architectural drawings. You have to submit that for you to build architectural drawings. They want plans. So they can come back as we're building when we start to do different construction sites, if it called for plans. They want, whenever they come in and they sign off on something we've done, they always pull the plan. They want to look at the plans. They'll pull the plans and roll them out and look at the plan and look at what we've done, and they'll check off and say, you passed. Or they'll say, I failed you on this inspection. Then they'll let us know why they failed us on that inspection. So they give me an opportunity to correct what was wrong, Now they come back and they pass it. Same thing we read the book for. See, this is the architectural plan, okay? The architectural plan is what we're going to go and we're going to read, okay? A lot of people don't know how to read plans. They call blueprints. And you got to go through and look at how things are set. And they look a little different than what you see this building, how you see it now. These drawings are different. Some of them are numbered and different things you have. So what we're going to do before we go there, we want to learn how to read the plans. Yeah, so you'll know certain codes or certain different things. You'll know what to do. That's what we look at. Let's right quick. We can see that 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 1. And we'll come back and we'll look at this. Yahuah willing. All right. Let's go to the trash. Hang in there, Pastor. You good. I hope you thinking about how to fight South Pong off. I'm trying to. I sent it. Y'all saw I fought the message my pastor was sending. Well, my pastor knows some stuff, don't he? He was just texting me back and forth. Y'all say I had to answer the time travel. All you got to do is ride a clock. Isn't that right? That's it, my pastor. Who put a car drop in 2 pieces of paper? It's wasteful. Another guy told that other guy, man, put it in my hand. All that paper. What is he doing? All right, come on.
Furthermore, my Akeem, we call upon you and exhort you in our Adon Yahushua,
warning you in our Adon, the Master Yahushua,
that as you received from us how to halak and to find the Khan in the of Alahym, as you halak also, so you should abound and so multiply more.
Well, this is important for us, how they do it. Abound, going to become more abundant anyway. And he put conjunction, so multiply even more. I mean, you put abound, it would already kind of cover that anyway. But that multiply is important because what we're going to base this off of hands. I got a hand in the hallway. We already know who I rank. Where's my second hand? I seen some, I think, faded this way. What you got? Ra Shyth. Tell them why. Tell them do what? So we understand now the importance of when we do what we're instructed. This is how we begin to increase. That's how you increase. This is always, he's right, in Ra Shyth, the first chapter, we tell them to be fruitful, and he tell them parry fruit. So this is going to put you to where you're going to increase, so they can start seeing, when you do things that Alahym instructs us to do, this is where your increase comes from. And this is why, now he's telling you now, furthermore, my king, which tell you that I've told you something before, because now I'm kind of more or less interjoining these together. We call you, called he put for call, I don't know what he put it upon you, and we warn you. There needs to be a warning with it. You in the Adon Yahushua, wanted to know who the master is, that as you receive from us how to halak, walk, and to find Khan, which is the grace, in the of Alahym, as you halak. While you walking, you want to make sure you're staying in favor. Also, so you should abound and so multiply more. Because this is going to be, now we're going to look at the noon. We'll look at the noon, which is the seed. And the seed goes to be what? Continual. Because as long as you have seed, you can plant. And when you plant seed can grow. So then this is what we're looking at. So guess what how we'll look at this based off what we're saying. We'll look at every order that he gives us to do will count as a seed. Anything he instructs us to do will count as a seed. As long as we have a seed, we can continue. If there's no seed, they told us except the Adon of Sabut, which was what they would call the Lord of War. That Lord of War title comes from him. He's the Adon of Sabut, of war, of the army, the host. except he had left us, we had been like, what do we know about Sodom? And made like unto, burned up and destroyed. No longer in existence. That's how important the seed is, though. Because now he's talking about multiplying. You can't just look at this as just English writings. You got to look at it based upon what did they know about multiplying. I'm sitting here with nothing to add. I'm looking for the increase. How? Why I can't? Because I don't have anything. When he came in here, what was here? Which means something had to generate. He had to generate something. Same thing you got to do if you don't have no money. You got to generate something. You got to generate the energy, force, the work to be able to come up with it. Someone has to be able to give it to you, a loan or something. Now he's telling us how to multiply. I'm going to show you how to continue, how to have, how to increase. And that's why we go back to look at the word the way we do. Because we're looking at it from the same perspective as how they saw it. When Adam went outside the garden, what was he going to get? Thorns and thistles. What do these typically do? Thorns and thistles when you're trying to grow. Prick. Choke. That's what I heard some of the things, like weed, they'll choke it. Anything you put down, they'll choke it. So guess what you start looking at? It's sinners. Kataim enticed it. You ain't gonna believe why. They'll choke you out. If they say, come, let us lurk for innocent blood. What he told you to do? Don't go. So guess what he just learned just now with him reciting me? He just learned how to walk. Because I taught you how to walk in a straight path. In the book of Abary, he told you, lift up your hands. They hang down. And your
feeble knees.
Make straight path for your regard. Let that which is lame be turned out of the way, but rather let it be healed. See, that's the way you got to do it. You got to lift up your hands and your feeble knees. And your path got to be straight. He said, otherwise, I'm going to turn it out of the way. He said, rather let it be healed. That's the goal. People want to get healed. Look at how you're walking. Look how all this come in. All this come in with halakking. Y'all got all this come in with halak. When we start to look, what is this we looking at? Progeny. No, that's something we need to look at. Put it up. That's fine. We'll work it. They ain't gonna mess me up. Some of the other folk got scripted stuff out and throw them off. I ain't got nothing wrote up. We work it. It's the word. It didn't tell the word. We want to know. What we got here? Multiplication. Progeny.
Progeny.
What is it? Progeny. I didn't see the phonics of it. You better hit that little voice. Let me hear that. No, so they should define it. And we cut that out and find it.
Progeny.
Because they broke it down. Don't think you know nothing. They showed them how to do it. That's right, progeny. A descendant or the descendants of a person, animal, or a plant offspring. So you see this? So all this is going to stem off into multiplying. Y'all got it? Now, how many times we use progeny? In our everyday life, we don't even look at it like that. Because you start looking at the offspring. Now, the word we will use, and we go back to the Alahym chart. Because it's talking about the offspring of. So it's showing you, they know something. Why would they give it something that you would commonly use? Because you would think differently. So they're going to put words out and they use them for a reason. They put them and they hide them for you for a reason. Because I don't need you to think a certain type of way. Okay? The noon is what we use. The noon, which is the seed, the continue, an heir, a son, who's going to be a descendant of. So now I'm trying to tell you how to halak into favor. To where things work for you and they'll continue to be enhanced, for your growth, for your benefit. So these are things we hadn't typically looked at because we just look at it from an English perspective and from the culture of the people we deal with. You just very much you see us how y'all to walk to please God so you abound more and more. But you know what commandment we gave you by the Lord Jesus? And it keeps it so basic that you don't sit down and you try to formulate how did these people see things? What were their understanding? Everybody handles you. You start playing with your New Testament, you start playing with thru. Thru is going to deal with you when you start dealing with your Greek and with your Latin. He'll take you over to Briggs, and everybody's going to deal with what you call your Old Testament. He breaks you up. He breaks you up. Everybody plays you. No one person plays you. This is a conglomerate of people playing you. You just don't know you're being played on one end. You've been played on more than one end. Y'all know that? That's it. I mean, it's a consensus. It's a consensus, a conglomerate of people that's working you. And people call it on say, think about it. Who you always blaming for everything wrong with you? Not, I ain't talking about saying who you typically blame. White man. The white man can do all this by himself. Think about it. He can do all this by himself. Not just capturing or bringing you just him, but the fact that he keep you him. Why none of the other countries? Russia, Brazil, China, Saudi Arabia is trying to be part of them too. Who did I miss? South Africa. India. When these people talking about open the floodgate to try to get us out? They talk about the injustice of America based upon their economies being affected. They'll never blame America for slavery. They blame them for the economy and for the dollar. These countries are all these countries are getting, it's more niggas in Brazil than anywhere in the world. Did y'all know that? There are more niggas in Brazil that's in any other place. Most of y'all didn't, how many of y'all didn't know that? Why would they tell you that? Why would they tell you that? First time I want to go to Africa to see black folk, we got niggas everywhere. We got them on the corner, we ain't got nothing but hoods. Isn't that right? So, and I say that to try to get you to understand this plight that we on of trying to free ourselves first religiously. And freeing ourselves religiously is by breaking the yoke or the chains he bondaged us with on our minds, because it holds back our intelligence and our rationality and thinking. And we more or less spend more time condemning ourselves versus looking at the people that worked us. We have a rightful condemnation because of our offense against Yahuah. I don't have an offense with these people. These people don't have an offense they can charge me with. They'll make one up. And because they'll make one up, they'll use that to hold my head, and I'll just naturally associate that with him. Of course, he allows people to do what they do, but I'll look at when I make an offense against him, that it's an offense against him. Kind of like him. If any one of y'all make offense against Bob, that's an offense against me. How that work? If I make offense, hopping Bob was a criminal. Remember he told a foul at Bob, that's a foul at me. That's how he got you. He's making you think, if you think a certain way toward him about him, if you disagree with the system or you fight against the system, you fight against Yahuah. So the reason why we look at it, and I appreciate you, Banished, for pulling that up. Again, but I said, man, Banished shrunk. That's all right. No, that's all right. But because it's important for you to understand, the word you see, what's it, progeny, these aren't words we use, but they show you he understands. But I put it somewhere because it's not in your conversation. The people in your groups don't use that type of word or verbiage. So these are things I can keep away from you. So when he looks at your stuff, I understand that you don't. You fighting to understand. You closing your eyes and squinching real tight. The tears come out and you begging God to give you knowledge and telling God you want to be saved. God said, boy, I'm just as dumb as you is. And because you're not seeking Yahuah, you don't have the amount. He's got away from you for a reason. A lot of this have kept us from our healing and kept us from our transforming away from these people. They kept you crippled long enough. Y'all got it? So when we look at progeny, looking at the noon, to show you he uses your stuff, this is a letter. He took it, what you use to describe water, mem, and he took this and gave you the letter M. What letter is that? That's what he did to you. And he got it from him. He works you every time. You just don't know it. He borrows, he takes from you. Like he teach you when you subtract it. You know what you have to do? Borrow from another column. He taught you how you take from somewhere else. Because it's not possible. You can't take 1 from 0. So you just naturally got to go and take some, what did it say? Take away. He used subtraction on his manipulation of you today. He just, that's all they do, borrow. And you ain't believe what he got you doing. He take your stuff away. Get what you do. You go to the next column and you have to borrow. He manipulates you with mail. You don't notice that? How you have to do it? Otherwise you can't do it, can you? So he sets you up on a borrow system. Don't worry about it. You're not supposed to think. You're supposed to pray, let go, let God. Now he'll tell you that I'm a cult leader. I'm poisoning the minds of people. I'm poisoning kids. I'm trying to destroy homes and families. I'm trying to make them. And I'm trying to get you to think and become more logical about what you're doing. It doesn't make sense for some of the things that people told us. How can I do it if I don't understand it? And they'll make it look like everything what you do is a mystery. Amazingly, tithes ain't a mystery. That's not a mystery. That's what God said and that's what God meant. Everything else is a mystery. When something that come against him or something that can take him down and destroy what he's doing, they had to leave that to God. Go ask something about taking him down, you can't do that. You got to let God do it. Everything else, he can do it. He don't let God sleep with the sisters, he do it. He don't let God molest the kids, he do it. You come down to doing something to him, you can't do that, you got to let God do it. He plays you every time. So, in saying that, back to where we're at, again, this ain't about every individual person. It's about a system. And that system works us on every end, from economics to the English script and writing to association with people around us. Think about what kind of people you think they put around you. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all ever seen this movie? It's called Total Recall. Think about that. Why are you just going to call it recall? Because you can recall some stuff. Think if you could total recall. If you could totally recall everything. You know what that man learned? That wasn't even his wife. His friends on his job that he was talking to. Because he had questions. Y'all remember that? He was out there jackhammering his friend. He said, I was thinking about going to this place, recall. He said, man, go to them butchers. I knew a guy went down there and messed his mind up. Y'all remember that? And he went. He started recalling things. You saw that? He learned that everybody around him was working him. Can you imagine, how would you feel you found out everybody in your circle working you, and you the only fool don't know it? Okay, give your people, they give you associations. They give these groups. All these group work, whether they fraternities, sororities, whether they Elks or Masons, wherever they are, all these groups work the same. They all work the same. They pull you in. They get you on a psychology. They get you on a psychosis. All these groups. And they try to teach you when people think differently, they're weirdos, they're crazy, they're nutballs, they're whack jobs, but never them. Never them. It's never them. So all I want to do at the end of the day, and I say all these things because I just want the truth. That's all. If the truth come up and the truth show me wrong, I'm going to be hurt. Y'all want the truth? I'm going to be hurt. That thing going to cut. As Yossi said, like a knife. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to get it right. That's bottom line. Be truthful. You want the truth, right? It's going to cut me, it's going to hurt. So I'm going to have to give up something, let go of something, I'm going to have to conform and change to something. But I'm going to do it because my intent and my goal is to be right. Don't think truth going to come and truth going to make you just feel good and truth just going to do these things. It will when you look at the benefits of it. When you look at the growth, when you start to see the growth, but at the time initial when you have to take the attack from the truth, when you have to take the tearing down from the truth, and then you got to come back and have to look at all you got to get rid of and you got to reconstruct, that's a lot of damage and hurt. But if you're honest, you'll do it for the saving of your soul. You got it? It's just people have played us so long, it make it a little difficult. It is. It's like, we're going to do the truth. Where we start at? You can say, let's just start Genesis 1:1 and read. I assure you, you're going to get off. Because he's going to keep giving you words that he's going to inject in. He's going to get you with. He's just got a lot of things he's going to get you with. And you know grace based upon what he told you. I'll tell you about words and what words mean in another language. There's words that mean this in another language. That don't mean the word ain't right if we're using it here. I don't have a problem with what words are what used in other languages. I'm looking at what language he has and what did he say. I just want to make sure I get this right. I'm not arguing the word door might mean something profanity in another language, but I'm talking about what he said. I don't need nobody trying to cover up what he said or I don't want no alternative to what he said. I want exactly what he said. Mm-hmm. Y'all got what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because it's beneficial. It's essential to me. When something is essential, that means it promotes something. Essential. You need to know that. It promotes something. It's needful. Y'all got it? It's needful for us to know what exactly did you say? What did you mean when you said it? So I can do it. That's why we want to come, so we can do it. Let's look at something right quick. Since we looked at that furthermore, what the purpose was. See if that 30th chapter of the book of Alah Ha Dabarym. Let's say 31. Listen.
So it shall be when all of these things have come upon you,
Like what?
the Baraka and the Alah, which I have set before your Pani, and you shall bring back them to your law among our Goim, where Yahuah your Alahym has banished you there.
Can we look at banished? We'll look at it from. Can we look at it from the Abary and the English? That root gonna be banned. You know what it is when you ban? Send someone away from a country or a place as an official. Why are you here? Why you send people to jail? How did you come here? Your own free will? From what we know that we were here, some people here before the slave trade. What knowledge do we have of us coming here? Banished. You came here as a punishment. See, it's important for you to know that because you got him. It's kind of like, a guy going to prison and he realized he don't have a high school diploma, so he get a GED. Then he might wind up getting in there and got some prison. They'll have jobs where you can work. You can make so much, $2 or something a day, whatever. And they work and they can build and they can get it. You ain't going to believe it. They're still in prison. Isn't it not true? That people work in prison, they make money. $1.75 a day, $2 and something a day. If people go to prison, they'll get a bachelor. You ain't going to believe where they at. Some of them will be what they'll call trustees. Guess where they still at? So guess what was supposed to happen when you came in? And you bragging about your degree you got? And you bragging about how much money you make a day? You still in prison, nigga. Yes, you've been banished. We'll look at that banished, cast out. He said, no, you were sitting here, and the person that went back to translate, even though he used an English word, he used a word. How many times we really just use banish? You know what I'm saying? But typically come back, and when you look it up, you find out the definition again, please, kind sir. Send someone away from a country or a place as an official. See, this is not his appointment. That's how you know the people in this book. You know how you got sent here. You didn't come here and got the boat, start looking around, land of the free, home of the brave. When you came here, you were in chains and shackles. You came here, you know what? You didn't know nothing. And you didn't know how you got here. Can you imagine you fell asleep and you woke up and this is where you were at? And you weren't just sitting in these pews. So now he wanted you to look at this. Let's go back again and look at what they said. 30:1. This is Alah Ha Dabarym. If I didn't say it, they call it Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. Do the tenderoni. That's what Bobby Brown said. Truth about the Roni. We didn't go too far, Chris. Come put the check up here. Banish the check up here. You've been sent away to a far board as an official punishment. That's what happened when you know too many songs. Yes, he said, no. What year that was?
88. This album came out 88. I think he dropped that single early 89, somewhere around there.
That was in the 90s. Turn right away. Let the service say. Let's say. Turn. Don't look. Let's look. Hold on. Let's find out. For 20. Give him a hand clap. $25,000 he won that thing. Hold on. Stop now. We ain't got no real. Let me clear. We ain't got no real 25,000. One clap. That's thinking. That means ain't no 25,000. That's what he wants to sing. So the truth about the Ronin. The survey said this right here for the 25,000. This right here in the family. You be the champion of the family feud right here. Ooh, let's say. Ooh. Boy, we way off. I say 2008. Just hanging here though. We still looking. We don't see they come up here. Survey. We got something. Hold on. What? Hold on. What's the year? Put 2 checks out there. We got it. You can be 2 right. We're not having that in him. We're not having that 2 right in him. Seems like I was rolling it back in the 90s though, didn't it? Oh, seems like Rona came out. You know what I'm thinking about prerogative? My prerogative was later. Come on back, put another check up on. You know, don't make me look bad in front of my. I got white folk trusted me with this stuff. Somebody go into Wikipedia and change that date. How about y'all say? Preacher can't be wrong. Man, I was high. That when it rolled for 3 years. That's why I still listen to it in the 90s. Y'all heard it better in the 90s. I was a different place in my life in the 90s. That's what happened. That's when it counted back then. Yeah. Don't be cruel. God. That boy did his thing right there and died. He did them too and died. That show about Mr. Who will come for you. That brother here waited to be in the hottest male singer, dancer, the whole 9. That was it. He should have put a shirt on that double-breasted jacket. They came for that joker. But I just show you, when white people want to run, he crossed the wrong white person. Just like Whitney did. They ain't fall because he couldn't sing. He the same person. I threw that thing away. I had an album he had. They wound up, R.C. Rucker got rid of the whole album. I had it. I got it. I didn't think nothing about it, but I could have said it. Could have been worth some money. I could have probably got $2, $3 for it. At least a pinch of a rock. Not a whole one, but at least a pinch. Now he ain't selling barbecue sauce. He ain't gonna never be that now. This is Alah Ha Dabarym 30:2, verse 2. And you return to Yahuah, your all, and
Shama to his call with all your log and with all your nafash, according to all that I amar you this yom, you and your beni.
Hold on. Go back up at 1.
So it shall be when all of these things have come upon you, the baraka and the Alah, which I have set before your pani, and you shall bring back them to your log among all Goim, where Yahuah your all has banished you there. And you return to Yahuah your all, and Shama to his call with all your log, and with all your nafash, according to all that I amar you this yom, you and your beni.
So now, guess what happened now? The fact he's saying you and your beni. Now, guess what we're doing? We're learning how to halak. Because the fact that he's saying us and our beni, he's talking about us multiplying. Where's the multiplying at? When we went to where we were going, and when we got there, and all the curses come on Allah, he's talking about us returning back to him. Now we start to talk about our seed. Because it only makes sense because our teacher was the teacher to our benin, and our benin. See, the way we got it from Christianity, you just go and let the kids be kids. Then, when the Lord get ready, they'll change. No, when you turn, you and your benin going to turn. Because you're going to instruct them in the direct they're supposed to go. That's how we're going to multiply. This is not just a halak for us. This is a halak for our seed. This is how we're going to multiply. The mere fact that he's talking about the son, this is the heir. You and your benin, these are the heir. These are the heirs of the promise. But now he's talking about that because what we're doing. Now, guess what we were going to start to think about all these things at? You ain't gonna believe what we thinking of, man. I know when I get back over there to Jerusalem, that's when I'm gonna start thinking about it, trying to get back right. See, now you start looking at the order. This is how you know he's turning back to us. Because what did he say was gonna happen? Guess what happened? We ain't had no good things happen to us here. And we had some bad things. He said those things composite are gonna make you look at, it's time for you to turn back. Now, how serious is this? What did this rank at on the Amar scale? Hand. Tell him what his rank at. He said number 1. Who disagree? He said number 1. You disagree? It's tight. Let's see what he said. Mark, the 12th chapter. I think it's 12 and about 21, maybe 29. Let's see if it's the greatest. Hands for the first. What's the first? All right, what you got? You just raise your hand. What you hope? Say, man, he won't call on me. You getting a check for that. You see somebody here raise their hand when I call him, he dropped the hand. I'm like, I don't know nothing. No, that buck over there. Let's see. So 12, 29, 12, 21. Let's see. Listen.
Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commandment is, Shama, O Yasharal, Yahuah, our all, Yahuah is one.
You see that? Is one. What did he tell us about the two? No, he one. He'll Ruach anyway. Come on.
And you shall ahab
So I got
Yahuah.
something wrong again. I heard it low. Who was that? What you say? Okay, you what? I said something about two. Yeah, you don't got shook. Don't worry about it. Come on, man.
And you shall ahab Yahuah your all with all your lob,
And
with all your nafash,
with what?
and with all your knowledge,
And
with all your strength.
what is this?
This is the first commandment.
And what else?
Now the second is similar to it. You shall ahab your Ra'ah as yourself.
There's what?
No commandment greater than these.
Because they're going to cover everything else. Where people mess up, they say, you know what? You don't really have to keep the Shabbat. As long as you love the Lord with all your heart and your soul, your strength, and your mind, you already uncovered the Shabbat. This is what they don't realize. He said, with all your knowledge. What do I know about him through my knowledge?
Keep the Shabbat.
What I know about having other God through the knowledge?
Don't do it.
See, all you got to do is just love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, all your strength. See how people get done.
Yes, sir.
See, if he had put knowledge,
Yes, sir.
you'd be free. But he said with all that knowledge.
Yes, sir.
So when you do it, you're doing it with the knowledge. Because having the knowledge and having the affection for him keeps us from going against and transgressing. That's what you realize. See, when there's a love there, you look at, you don't want to hurt. You don't want to offend. It's because of a care you have. So he realized that, listen, in the gun, you ain't going to believe it. Adam had knowledge, da'af. And he yada, he knew. I asked him, did you eat of the tree that I told you? And he said, oh, what? I don't know about no tree. What's a tree? What's an art? Could have never told him that.
That's right.
Because he had da'af, knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And he yada, he knew. You just need to have a ahab. That's why you start looking at this. It has to be an affection that you don't want to put that block between you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do anything that causes to sever you from him. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that he started to put into play and perspective. This is why he let them know when we returned to him that we was going to have to do it with all our soul. We're going to do it. But look at what was going to make us do it. It was going to be the knowledge that we knew him, we understood from our punishment from being banished. And all these things composite together were going to cause us to have an ahab and a desire to do what we didn't do at the first. So as you can see, this is all playing out the way he intended it. It's all playing out the way he intended it. Let's see the 5th chapter of the same book right quick. We'll come back, Yahuah willing. Alah Ha Dabarym. Man, I wish we'd have never came to that place. You could have never fulfilled what the book said.
Yeah.
Because you were supposed to do it when you were banished in your punishment. See, a lot of stuff we be saying run our mouth. You'd have never got it. Because you see, it's clearly writing to the people that are going to be banished. Now, how did you let white people tell you that that was them? They came here in imprisonment. They went to Australia as prisoners. They didn't come here in imprisonment. And they didn't leave in no ships as no slaves. We didn't come here as criminals. They made us criminals when they got us here. Listen, how we came is how they start to set up how you arrest criminals. That's how they did. They've been chaining us and chaining us. And listen, it was just natural we were going to conform to what? Criminality. Look at why we overlook. Think about it. You brought us in chains. This is what you do to prisoners. This is what you do to people that go against and transgress the law, which we had. We had transgressed Alahym Torah. But they came and made us criminals to them. They made us criminals to a system that has nothing to do with us. Absolutely nothing. We ain't committed no crime against these people. They committed the atrocity, and they blamed it on us. And they blamed it on us. And their reproach, you ain't gonna believe it, it fell on us. Because we're mimicking a man. The reproach of them, those were reproach. Okay, let's see. When you hang a man on the tree, you're not supposed to leave his basal, his body up on the tree all night. He said, lest the land become a curse. Allah. That's why people don't know why there's water flooding them out and why they've been torn up. They hung us in trees and left us up there. See, we knew better. When Yahushua was on the two, the Ra Shyth and them came and told Palo. They said, we got to get him down. We had a muhad coming up. And they were getting ready to approach. We had to get him down. See, these people don't know what they're doing. White people don't realize why they're going to come back on them. They did the very thing. Why y'all think America getting tore to pieces and it tore apart? It's a curse. If you hang a man body on the tree and you leave it up all night, he said the land going to be a curse. These people made the land a curse. That's all on. These people gonna never get it right. They don't realize, listen, they have lived scrumptiously, they done enjoyed themselves. Now the recompense coming. We had to get it. What y'all think? We had to get it. That was so Alahym would show us that we would know the magnitude of the Sadiq Alahym. These people fell into transgression and didn't even pay attention. They were so busy, so driven with madness that hurt us, to take us down, that the dumbest didn't even pay attention. You weren't supposed to leave our pasal up there. That's why they went out there, what's her name, Billie Holiday? For that song, Strange Fruit. They ran out. She kept telling them, strange fruit hanging from a tree. They hated that song. They hated it. They drive them and push them and get them on drugs. Everyone we ever have, any singer that come against these people, they drug them. Anybody with a stand. They the one put Jimi Hendrix on drugs. Jimi Hendrix never got on no drugs. They put him on them. Now people testify. I sent y'all a documentary, tried to tell y'all to watch him. That's what Jimi Hendrix, he told you. He said he didn't like it. He said tell me he couldn't play. He said we're messing him up. And you know how we knew Jimi Hendrix? As the junkie. They put the Beatles on it. They used the Beatles. They were the hottest thing from Europe that came here, and they put all these young people in the South, they put them on LSD. These folks were LSD junkies. They used the Beatles. They brought them and put them on it. Paul Robeson, they put him on it. He was brilliant, actor, singer, poet. The man could write. They put him on it. He said he was in Russia. And he got through before, and they had a party at a place next door, and they kept getting to come in there. And they brought him in, and they put him on the door. He said he couldn't think anymore. They messed him up. They made like the man went crazy. That's why I say you go get white people, you go crazy. He did. He said he went in there, those people, they encouraged him to come in there. They came all the way to Russia, posed in Russia, sat in here and had a party right here, got him in, and got him on drugs and messed his mind up. He couldn't remember anymore. That's why you can't afford to keep playing with these people. I can't tell y'all, listen, y'all can believe what y'all want to believe. It ain't about hating them, but if you do, that's your business. I won't be the person to try to turn you away. You do, what you feel like is best for you. I got to do what's best for me and for the saving of our soul. And one I'm going to tell, we can't keep being stupid. You're being played. You just don't know you're being played. Everybody give you been an agent. You think you pick friends. People picked you. Even Yahuah told him when he got them. He said, you didn't choose me, I chose you. Not one of them picked Yahuah. He told him that. He said, you didn't choose me, I chose you. You be thinking you pick somebody, these people giving you people. Y'all be surprised how much stuff these people done gave you. You just don't know it. Let me keep moving. They don't want to think like that. What you got around him? So we got that. Let's get back over the 5th chapter of the book of Alah Ha Dabarym. 5 and 20. Let's cut that air back down. I want to get them. See, I knew it was a little tad warm, but I don't want to burn them up. I wouldn't really mind if I want them to say it. They'll make an excuse. These folk here, they look at COVID. They look at a commercial with COVID, they gonna get it. Man, that'd be a 5th. I mean, ain't gonna be here tomorrow. They already typing in their phone now. Y'all be safe. Miss y'all. Y'all already know they gonna be out tomorrow. How you know you gonna be out tomorrow already? Might be crazy. You be sitting here just laughing and talking to somebody that thing you don't see them for 2 weeks. He already did something. Man, a constant violator. All right. Alah Ha Dabarym, they call Deuteronomy 5 and 20. Listen.
You shall not bear false witness against your Ra.
Uh-oh. Like talking about me for a minute. Yeah, show tell a lie on me, boy. Ain't that right? He told you that. See, that key, because that's everything's about. Let's look up something for us. I know probably one day. Well, there's somewhere. Oh, goodness. Look up the word they're gonna call harmony. Harmony gonna go back to one of their Greek gods. I already know that anyway. They don't have nothing don't link to something Greek to go to something they use. But I want you to look at the definition from an English perspective. So you say you harmonize and harmony. The combination, I don't want Greek right now. The combination of what's that? Simultaneously sounding musical notes to make chords and chord. Progression having a pleasing effect. That's what the man was trying to get us to do. Not the word harmony, but I had to look it up to get you to look at it. It's a Greek god they got that they'll get you. And when you're talking about you harmonize, you doing stuff, the Greeks have you chanting. You just don't know it. We should be able to sing in unison. You know what I'm saying? Things like he told us when you sing, Yahuah said when he share, he said he'll do it with the understanding. It's unfortunate they take things and make them look like they're harmless and they're more harmful just because of the connotation they'll put the word with. So we'll look at being more or less in unison. But that's why he told us about not. How do me and you get along pretty good? How long we going to get along if I tell lies on you? We're not going to be in unison. We're not going to be able to make chords where we come together. That's why he put them in, because he knows these things can happen. But if I put a commandment here and I teach them why, because I need you guys to work in unison. But if you start lying on this man, this is going to be a problem. So now you're going to break the unison. Y'all got it? So this is why he put all these things into play for, and they're practical. Why wouldn't it? He said, well, let's do this. Come like, I want to lie on the man. He said, would you want him to lie on you? No. Do the same thing to him. He said, you do to him what you want done to you. How about that? I don't want nobody lying on me, so I ain't going to do it to you. That's how we're going to keep unison. Y'all got it? That's how we're going to have it. That's how we're going to be, they say, on the court. We'll be with one accord. For the fact, that was the whole purpose. It was to keep us in unison. Keep us where we work together, where we can produce. You got what I'm saying? We can't do it because people don't look at the importance of it. It's a simple practice. What you don't want nobody to do to you? What you don't like? How many of y'all like people putting their hand in your face and poking your eye? You ain't going to believe it. Don't do it for nobody else. And now why you ain't going to do it for nobody else? How many of y'all want your stuff getting stolen? Guess what? Whatever, that's how he's saying. If you good with your stuff getting stolen, do it. Because I'm going to do eye. He said, I'm going to do eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. He said, we're going to do it. You think of what they taught people. Just say, Me and Candy, we up here and we fighting, messing around, and we got an Aku sitting here, and we done hear her, she done lost the baby. Do we have any kids? He said, "Kill her. They're gonna teach her. It got to be just wait." And your stupidity, y'all guys wind up killing a baby. So now something got to happen. Restitution got to be given. So all these things came to teach us to make sure you mindful of what you do to other people, because the same thing coming back to you. See, why America don't like it and why they try to teach it in a different way and try to move away from it. You think America can afford to get an eye for every eye they took? A tooth for every tooth they got? These bad mouth old crackers they got, they ain't got a gum to give. I'm just being honest. They ain't got enough eyes. They'll tell you that, you know what an eye for eye leave? Everybody blind. And you fall for that stupid stuff. That's what y'all. Then all eyes out then. Not all eyes on me, all eyes to me. I'm take all the eyes out then. That just being honest, that makes no sense. The purpose of that was to teach you the value of how he put us, how you learn how to keep things where you're in unison. How you work together, you can be with one accord. Y'all got it. It's just like when you see nature, you know they'll teach you, even in construction, you do stuff. If it's a creek, they don't want you to disturb it. They don't want the house too close to it. You can't disturb it. A lot of people don't know stuff that you do. Like a lot of people might have creeks running their yard. You just go there, you just cutting that stuff. They don't want you to do that. You disturbing other forces, other things that live, that count on that. They don't want you to touch it. Let it do what it do. Let it do. It's cover for somebody else. It's food for somebody. For you look at, I like it like that, but it look better. It just don't look right with all that. He said, you're not supposed to touch it. You can't take it and turn it a different way. I want the water to turn. Can't disturb it. Because when you disturb it, you're going to take away from something else. And that's what he look at. If I do certain things, I'm disturbing something. I'm going to take away from something else. Y'all got it. Everything has a way it's supposed to flow. And what we do, we take things out, even with your energy. A lot of times when people sick, they don't realize when you're sick, nothing does the way. You'll find things are off when you're sick. That's for a reason, so you can recognize it. It really is. Sometimes what you do and what we do in the system, like we get an education, and you don't want to acknowledge that you're in prison. So you have a headache, you go take an aspirin. You won't go fix why you got a headache. That's what they do. They just give you something to cover up the real detriment of what you have. So you're not conscious of it. You're not cognizant of the fact that you have something else going on. Because I give you TV. I give you movies. I give you music. I give you clubs. I give you all this other stuff. So you're not cognizant when things are happening. You just take another aspirin. That's all you do. Every time my head hurt, relieve. They give your body to tell you relief. Is that really relief? The only reason your head will be hurt, it will be because something is off. There's an imbalance in your body. All these are alarms. They're alerting you. You just turned them off. So now you missed an alert. Watch people that have strokes and watch that. There were signs. You took something to ignore it, or you just, I ain't paying attention to it. Like some people that alarm go off. Man, that's your alarm go off. Man, that thing go off all the time. This time your car gone. Now your car gone. This time your car gone. I mean, your body that's how you got to give it, just alerts. It let you know, I kicked this, that's an alert. Let me know that toe hurt. That toe ain't got no mouth. I kick that toe, say, hey! You be like, ooh, that thing hurt. That's the only way to get your attention. I got to shoot that pain back up to the brain and let the brain register you and let you know I'm hurt. If I y'all start being careful about where I walk at. That is, certain stuff you eat, your stomach be hurt. That's why your body, it let your brain, you be like, oh. You know what you say? You say, ask me what's wrong with me, Ray. Something I ate. My stomach don't have no mouth. So it sends it to the brain. And it keeps sending me to the bathroom. I started to put it together. You know what I say? Somebody, man, I ain't going back over there. Wow. Man, that time when that man almost died. See? It gave him the sickness. The sickness in the brain let him know, stay away from them. That's what was supposed to happen with the Torah. That was the only reason he gave you all these different punishments. They're supposed to teach you, stay away from them. That stuff almost kill you. This is warning you. This hurts you. See, all the thing that your body does, all these alerts, that's what he tried to do in the book, but you will miss it when you don't know. I don't know. I mean, I didn't know. A lot of things you don't know. Like a child, you constantly teaching them. A child know hot as soon as they come out. You know, you could tell them, but what are you to take for them? Then they can point and say, hot, hot. Every time you keep saying, goodness, say a lot. Give it a hot, hot, hot. Now you say hot. Now every time you tell something hot, they relate it back to that hot, hot. Guess what? Experience. The brain really said, that's what hot means. See, Adam didn't know what die means. Unless he seen an animal kill over. Unless he seen a tree wither up and fall down in the ground and it's no longer existing. Otherwise, I can't register it until I can't register being cast out or banished. You think those people understood what banished was? They were reading this. What you think? How much validity this had? When you banished away into a land far outside the country, then first of all, I'm in my country. Nobody can whoop me nowhere around. What does that mean? That's why he said, you'll understand when you get there. You'll understand when you get. It's not for you to understand now. When you get there, you'll figure it out, and you'll know then. This is what I told you about. This is why it's everything these people do. He told us it was for our learning, because now we coming into some understanding about this. Okay, well, you went back on here for the quality of the phone. Was you trying to show me something I missed? Are you? Oh no. Okay, let me know. Oh, okay, here we go. This is 5 and 20. We read that. Come on. Y'all give me a little more time. I just want to keep us where we don't go back and make the same mistakes. Because we do. We constantly making the same mistake. We're not growing. We need to grow. Listen.
You shall not covet your Ra Shyth, and you shall not desire your Ra Bet, his field, nor his male abad, nor his female abad, his Bakar, nor his Kamor, nor anything that belongs to your Ra.
Mm-hmm. So he's going back over things that they already knew. So like us, something we might go over, you might say, well, we already know that. They knew that too. I just want to come back and put emphasis on it, make sure they know it. So now since you coming back into the knowledge about me in your captivity, I'm going back over these things. You ain't going to believe why. This is part of the reason why you're outside of your land. Why am I talking to you about later in the 30th chapter about all these things? Because I'm letting you know these are the very things I'm telling you. This is where you're gonna mess up. It's just like sometimes when teachers do review, they go on review and people don't pay attention. Then the test come up. When you taught that? Oh, you ever had that happen before? Are you serious? When? Y'all remember it be stupid like, yeah. You were pet anyway. No, you weren't paying attention. This is us. They weren't paying attention. Think about it. Why paying attention to this? I already know this. But I'm going over and I'm telling you nothing. Don't just get down on his wife. You'll start going after other things he haven't desired. This is what bigger than that. Don't be coveting nobody else's wife or nobody else's husband. Don't covet nothing. All it's going to do is cause a problem. Your lustful drive is going to cause a problem. And you guys are not going to be in sequence. Y'all going to be off cue. I'm trying to keep you guys in sequence. See, everything's supposed to. It more or less, you look at it, they'll call life almost like a circle. Goes around, comes around. Things kind of work. You know what I'm saying? All the energy forces all work together. From the water running. They know how to use water to power places energy. It gives energy. They learn that from Ma'in. That these are all the stuff in life energy for. You are an energy force. A lot of things, certain colors play a certain way with you and kind of signals out certain kind of energy, certain sounds. You know what I'm saying? All these things kind of work together in cohesion? I don't know, use cohesion. Coexistent. You understand? When you heard come on, big man. We using code word. That man said unison. You know why you said that? So, you know why? Stop right there. You know why? It's all about competing for what you believe. What that man? I'm starting sitting here talking about code. That man said unison, cohesive. There we go, cohesive. So we kind of missed that. We have what we call an imbalance. Appreciate it. We have an imbalance. And our goal is to try to come back and put ourselves, and that's where the scale, how the scale tilt. We're trying to put the thing back up where everything level off. That, you know what I'm saying? You have a chemical imbalance. You have people equilibrium. They'll get you on. Sometimes, let me tell you what happens. You get an ear infection. It can throw your equilibrium off. Can you imagine your ear hurting can throw your balance off? They taught us you cut the big toes out to keep a person from balancing. Your body is set up, it's so complex. So you think about how complex the body is. We got a whole world working. How complex this whole thing is. It's so many intricate moving parts. So now when we learn how to do this, there's certain things he allowed to react to us a certain way. Y'all got it? Certain things react a certain way. Just like things working out for you. It's because of the energy force that you put toward this. When we do what he said, these are life energy forces. Because all this is conducive to a man living. See, when Adam was in there, he broke a cycle. He broke, everything in the gun was working until him or her got off. That totally spiraled things off. And that's what we start learning now. Getting us back on is going to be effective with everybody. You might not think it is. I'm telling you, getting us back on is going to be beneficial to those that are looking. It's of a necessity that no one else can get it till his people get it. No one else can get it till we get it. No one. It makes no sense. He's giving them an opportunity to get in while we've been cast away. Now he's trying to come back and conform us back. That's what he's trying to get us back. This thing wrapping up with us. Our falling away only worked out for them to get in. That's the only reason allowed us to fall away. That's the only way they could get in was through our fall. But now we're recovering. How that's going to work? We're recovering ourselves now. Hello? Let's look at this. Samson, who they call Samson. Y'all know how they got him? Through his fall. Let's pay attention. He was laying in the woman's lap, and she cut his hair. Laying. That's up or down. That's how they got him, through his fall. Now when he got back up, his hair started to grow. How did that work out for the other people? That became their demise. Our fall is how these people got us. Our recovery is going to be their fall. Make no mistake, it's going to be their fall. See, they got to hate me. Make no mistake. White people watching me. You guys have no idea. They can't tell y'all they watching me keep it. I mean, they're not stupid. I'm not teaching y'all no slave bow down doctrine. I ain't telling y'all to go kill white folks and nobody else hate them. I'm just telling you the information you're getting, the fact that you're recovering, they know it's going to be a detriment to them. They're not stupid. They've seen this before. They've seen the fall of themselves. When you get yourself back up and you recover yourself, they already know what happened. They know when Samson went out, what he told her. He said, he shook himself. He said, I'll go back as I did. He said, all I'm going to do is go in here what I know how to do. I do this all the time. And said, he hadn't even realized Yahuah had departed. Don't you know, while we were reading this, how much y'all think we were giving this when we were sitting in our land? Really, Mushak, keep your mouth shut. You always said the same thing. Every time you sin. I can't cover it. And of course, he wasn't using that. He said the same thing every time you sin. Until now, he was saying it enough they get imprinted, and then they tell it their kids. And they come back. How all of a sudden now, we getting it? Because it worked just the way he told them. You ain't going to believe who we are. We are the benim of these people. We are the offsprings of these people. That's who we are. We're the offspring of these people. Those people weren't going to live that was here. He knew who it was going to be. It was going to be their seed. He knew what he was going to do for those people. I'm going to get me a seed. I'm going to get me some people that are going to continue. That's how he looked at it. All I do is take a seed from these people. He totally wiped these people out to no remedy. Can you imagine that? No remedy for these people. Look at us. Now we sit here with remedy. And you know what go with remedy? Recourse. Remedy and recourse. That's what you get when you go to court. People don't know that, do they? When you go to court, you sick. That's what you're going there for. You're looking for a judge to give you a decision in your favor. That's a remedy. Then you're looking for the recourse, that they got to pay you or they go to jail, or both. That's recourse. It's not enough to just be found innocent. It's got to be recourse too. That's right. It don't make no sense just go here. All right, you won. What I get? These people, we getting remedy, and we're gonna get recourse. Yes, sir. And they know this. Yes, sir. They don't need you to think it. They don't need you to look at it, and they don't need you to desire it. All they want you to do is desire forgiving, loving, hugging, and it ain't important no more. It's important because when Yahuah come back here, ain't important. He said forgive them. They didn't tell us forgive them on the two. Why? So why does he come back and every eye gonna say he gonna pierce, and all of that pierce gonna be wailing? When Yahuah come back here, he looking for remedy. Come on. Then go get recourse. Yes, sir. He doing just like they sisters do. I'm taking them to court. Yes, sir. Remedy and recourse. That's all he looking for. That's what you're looking to get out of court, remedy and recourse. That's right. And that's what he coming back here for. Yes, sir. And he ain't coming back for no grace and repentance. Come on. Yes, sir. People, that's why this is to our benefit to learn this and know this and get this right. Right. Come on, finish this, and I'm trying to get y'all out of here. I know that they can't take much. But I show y'all, I'm just trying to help. Come on.
These Dabarym, Yahuah spoke to all your kahal at the har from the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick gloom with a great call, and he added no more. He katab them on 2 tablets of Abound and gave them to me.
Come on.
And it came to pass, when you shama the coal from the midst of the kashak, while the har was burning with fire, you came near to me, and all the heads of the matah and your zakanim.
Ra Shyth.
You said, behold, Yahuah our all has shown us his kabod and his greatness, and we have shama his call from the midst of the fire. We have seen this yom that Alahym speaks with Ish, yet he kai.
Yeah.
Now then, why should we moot? For this great fire shall consume us, if we continue to shama the coal of Yahuah our all any longer, then we shall moot.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
For who is there of all basar who has shama the coal of the kai Alahym speaking from the midst of the fire as we have in Kai?
It's the Ish. Go ahead.
You go near and shama all that Yahuah our all says, then you speak to us all that Yahuah our all speaks to you, and we shall shama and do it.
That's correct. What did he tell him?
Yahuah shama the coal of your Dabarym when you spoke to me, and Yahuah said to me,
what did he say?
I have shama the coal of the Dabarym of this arm, which they have spoken to you.
What happened?
They have done well in all that they have spoken.
You hear what he said? He said they right. They were right. They were right. He knew if I keep talking, what was going to happen. And sometimes, you know what's amazing? You had your parent tell you, if I keep talking, I'm wound up killing you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I remember over there, don't make me keep talking to you. It's amazing. Y'all remember they tell that? Don't make me talk to you again now. Ain't that right? Y'all remember something? They tell you, don't let me talk to you because they speak. They could tell when he spoke, he was angry. They tell when he spoke what was coming with that. And they rather heard it from him, kind of like we do. I rather my mama fuss at me than my dad. Any day of the week, I'd rather my mama had fussed at me than my dad. Anybody was like that? All day, twice on Sunday. Come on.
Oh, that they had such a law as this in them, that they would yara me and keep all my amar, all the yamin, that it may be well with them and with their beni along.
So now, guess what he's telling them? Who know? Hands. What is he telling them? Kai. How to walk. When we talked about the seed, so you can multiply. Furthermore, you receive of us how you ought to walk. Mm-hmm. He's talking about you multiplying. You can't multiply without a seed. See, he was trying to tell if it was a law like that in him. So while he's saying this, make no mistake, he's making preparation to create that law. You know what Dawood wanted to know? And renew. I need another one. Sometimes you have paper, you ain't got it, you made a mistake, you realize I can't use it no more. Can I get another one? What happened now? I messed this one up. That's how he realized I got to create one in him. Guess how he created one in us? He created a situation. The situation where I knew what you would do. I already knew what type of people you were, and I used that again. You'll be surprised. People use your weaknesses against you. And that's what he did. Your weakness became your, what he told you about your weakness? He said that's what his strength had made. I already knew you were weak. Why else did Yahushua come? What were you using the height of your strength? You were weak. That's how he made Tamim in your weakness. He said, mine made perfect in your weakness. Because look what you needed. So how was you going to get it? I done gave you the word. You done heard it. I'm not telling you the first time. I'm going over what I told you before it happened. And you said something I already know. That's not the heart you got. You just mouth. You teeth and tongue. That's not in your heart. Why would he say if there was such one in them? I know they ain't got it. But guess what? How many times have we said, forgive me. I ain't going to do it no more. What were your feelings? To do it again? And go, he realized, I heard your words. If it was such a law being. So I had to create a situation. And in creating that situation, it allows you to get that law because you realize where you at, what I could have done to you. And I spared you. And I still gave you Khan when you should have got Rosha. I created that. And you know what? That's what made you love me. Because you know what I've done to others who done less than you. See, I just had to create a situation. Sometimes a kid, they ain't got nothing and everybody got something till they lose it. Till they lose it and realize I had more than what I thought. Why were we going to get it when we got in captivity, we were sitting in prison, we in the dungeons of these people, in chains and shackles of these people? That's what's going to make us consider it. You were going to consider it. Joseph told you when he sat in prison, he said, I was stolen from my land. He said, I've done nothing worthy of me being here. Y'all remember that? He let him know I was stolen from mine. He let him know the type of people he came from. He said, I've done nothing worthy of this. Nothing. That's how I looked at it. But you know what happened? The reproach of them that reproached him. These people sing your greatness. They wanted it, and they worked for your fall. And because we were ignorant and didn't realize it, everybody not your friend, just like Dinah did when she went out with all the Banu, other Arats. What happened when she got done? What you think happened to us? They raped us. All our goods, all our knowledge, all our wealth, all our infrastructure, our religion, our language. We did like Dinah. We wanted to explore. We wanted to see. And we got out there, they made a fool out of us. Now look at where we at. This is why we had to do so much work trying to recover. And he looked at that. If it was such a law beneath people, these people would do it always, that it would be always these people that we answer. Oh, that they had such a heart, law, as this in them, what they were saying out of their mouth, that they would Yarushalum me and keep my commandments. The day, what happened? And we know they were keeping part. He was told them it came out of them paying tithes. One of you that pay, because you pay tithes of anise, cumin, and mint, and you have omitted the weightier matter of the Torah, judgment, recon, shalom. These you ought to have done. You tip the scale. See that? But see, he was already looking for that. Now, see, and we had to see that. Yahushua came, we didn't think, listen, you don't know things about yourself till you get examined. You think them people knew that? Man, I ain't gonna keep nothing but tithes and offering. But in their minds, they were thinking like we were thinking. I'm doing everything the man told her. We the same people as the Malak Shaul did. When Yahuah told him what to go utterly do, he used his common sense. Why would I destroy the good? Everything ill-favored, everything wrong, I'll destroy it. That don't even make sense to kill that. I just take it back with me. And Yahuah was angry. I repent for even making you a Malak. Can you about it? Think when Yahuah tell you I repent for that's scary. You have to hear I repent. Listen, I hate I ever did it. I set you in a position and it's to show you the people and let people look, they knew this ain't good. When Yahuah hate he did something, that's bad. It's no good can come out of this whatsoever. But think about, we get to read about him. We get to see the outcome of him even to his moot behind it. And how many times we done things, no doubt, he set back to the original, to the end almost. I'm at a point where I hate you. And this man spared us. That's how he created this love in us. How many times have we done part of what he said and not all? How many here, every time you know to do what he said do, you've done it? How many have done part of what he told us? How many have done what we felt we understood? And he ain't told us yet, I hate you. I hate the day I let you get in. I hate the day that you got the invitation. I hate the day you showed up. That's what created that law. See, if there was no offense and no repercussion on something, and then to leave me in a situation not to be unpunished, but I didn't punish you to that magnitude, son, that was favor. I punished you, but I never punished you to the full end that I did to him. And you got to imagine what he would think if he had a voice to say, what he'll say? That's fair that you don't punish them. Are you serious? These guys, he black? He calling everybody name. He doing like me. He trying to stay up there. Me said, I told. Me said, I want to be down there prison all that time. Me had a 50-year sentence. They gave that joker 3 days in jail. You know how much stuff you tell the guy a 50-year sentence in 3 days? They said people still going to jail now for what me told. Some of them newborns. You got to tell a lot of stuff to get a 50-year sentence cut to 3 days. Isn't that right? That's one of them resurrection sentences. So in saying that, I try to let y'all go for now. That heart, we'll look for him to go in and make something for us when all he did was create the situations to let you see where there were some things that should have happened to us that didn't. Some car wrecks we were supposed to get into, and it missed. And you think your horn did it. You think your light flashing did it. There's some situation he let us flip, turn, and get out, and you still him. And you know, if people that flip one time, they not him no more. It's just so many things he let happen. So, because he said, if there was such a law, did he say that it wasn't going to be one? I just got to create the right situation where you can see me. When I say see me, not me, see him as ahab. Ahab. And he knew when that, and then it come with a fear when you realize, man, I thought I would own it, I thought I had it, and you ain't and he let something spiral out in your face, and you realize I couldn't do nothing. And he'll do this just so you can see. He said, because I got to create it. You need it. You asking for it. Then I got to create the situation where you'll get it. He's not going to get you another literal heart from a donor. I'm just going to take the one you got. I'm going to anoint your own, Mashiach it, your eyes, anoint them, and you're going to see things differently. Now you start to see. Now guess what happened? Now you can recover, and I can heal you. I can hear you, but before I couldn't hear you, you were blind to me. You didn't know it was me every time that you gave it to Jesus. You gave it to God. You gave it to the doctor. You gave it to everybody. He said, but me. He said he gave it to everybody. He said all these things you look. He said Abba. He said a son, a Ben. He said he honored the Abba. And even a servant, a bard, he honored his Adon. He said, I'm an Abba. Where's my honor? He said, I'm also a ruler. He said, where's my fear? He made us, put us in a situation so we fear. What do y'all think the purpose was putting cruel people over us? You desire his chastisement. He made it where you'll desire his chastisement. And you'll realize his chastisement, it ain't as of a cruel one. You know what I'm saying? He said, I won't leave you altogether unpunished, though. He said, I will not leave you altogether unpunished. I'll put you in some situation. It'll look like, it's pretty precarious to where it'll look like you won't get out, but I have to do this because I can't leave you unpunished. See, all this works in effect to create that law in us. See, a lot of times we've been complaining, we want our situation to change. He's working. You just don't know it. When Yahuah went down and looked in the one and saw the potter working, did he have an idea what that man was doing? When he saw that man take that thing and crush it and destroy it, all he was looking at was, that's stupid. No, I'm saying from our standpoint. Don't make sense. Why would you do all that work and just destroy it like that? And then he seen it fashion again and leave it. And he said, he made it to his liking. And he let Yahuah know, he said, the Beth of Yarushalum. He said, that's what they are to me. They are the clay in my hand. I can crush them and I'll make them into what I desire. Until he could see that the rationale wasn't there. Now he can go and speak to them and he can speak with them with an understanding. He can show them that he said, tell them that I'm the potter. They are the clay. Let them know I make them to the fashion that I like. So we'll question because we just the pottery. You got anything in your furniture? Little trinket, what they call whatnot? Do any of them get up and tell y'all where they want to go in the house? Do any of them hang themselves or pull themselves down and sit on the couch and cut the TV on? Do any of them go through the refrigerator and fix them something in there cooking? And I'm tired of hanging, I'm hungry. Nigga, you eat all the time, I be watching you. It's that where you put it, where you expect to be. You ain't gonna believe it. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. He's I'm expecting you to be where I put you. That's why we hadn't left him. He wants us to know, I put you here. I put you here to break you down. Then I'm gonna make you again. Because I want you to have that heart. Oh, that they had such a law as this in them. That they would Yara me and keep all my Amar, all the Yamin, that it may be well with them and with their Benin. See, this situation that we're going through and what we're in is a benefit to y'all. You just don't know it. See, the stuff y'all doing well is different. You know who go to the hospital? People that's not feeling well. When they ask them, they say, how you feeling? I'm not feeling too good. I'm not feeling well. Oh, that they had such a law in them that they would Yara me and keep all my Amar, all the Yamin, that it may be. You ain't gonna believe it. He told her who he was. He said, I'm Yahuah. I want you to be well. Only reason you sick, because you don't keep all my Amar. You don't Yara me. Things don't work out for you the way, man, it didn't work out. I did it for a reason. It's not going to be well until you complete it all. You got to Yara me and you got to keep all of them. Problem is, I keep his commandment, all of them. That's how things go well with you. We talked about shalom. That's not just your health, that's your wealth and your prosperity. That's what all that's entail. I want you to have shalom. When we read in the on conference sheet later, they call Wednesday night, which was Thursday later, that he talked about how one of the horses he sent for, his whole goal was to take shalom away from the rocks. Well, you don't prosper. You're not well. Things not working out for you. He said, I'm sending somebody on the rocks like that for you. for everybody. But see, some of us have to have an understanding. We got to have an understanding so we recognize, we know Yahuah working. So we make preparation. It's just like them. When Yahuah came through Mizraim, they knew it was coming. So we make provisions. Because he got something he's got to work. It's some people he going to turn. But for those of us that knowledgeable him, we know we got to make preparation. Y'all don't know I'm constantly always working. My mind always turning on stuff. I'm always working to put things together, make something. Because I got to consider all the people I got. I have to see you got families, you got kids, you got a lot. And I want things to go well with us. I want things to go well with us always in what I've been in. That's why we tight on you. That's why we tight on every one of y'all kids. Because we need things to go well with y'all. Because this is something he gave us, and this all go along with us how we halal. If we don't get this right, this man going to cut us off. We're going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. And that was for a reason, to let us know. When that man come down, just like he did with them, he went down, he said to see whether the thing is so. And he got provision. When he come down, he destroying everything. That's why we got to be right now. We got to make sure we get this law. We got to start considering all these different dynamics, these situations that happen. There's a lot of things unfolding in a lot of our life that's totally different than what we've been accustomed to. And you know why? It needs to be unsettling to make you feel. You need to be in a situation where you feel what's going to happen to you. Guess what you do to him? I got to look to him. When I ain't worried, I ain't got no concern, it don't affect me, it's going to affect how my relationship is with him. So he got to constantly got some things to happen that's got to affect us. He can't have us sitting easy and sitting in where things are just going well. My Palada Yahuah count us amanah, he'll let us escape the tribulation. That'll come on a whole rise. If he don't, we make a provisions. If he do, we make a provision. So how we see fit, just like they were going into the fiery furnace. They didn't know how it was. They said, I ain't worried about it. They said, I know he able. So we go into tribulation. I know he able. I know he'll keep us too. That's my confidence. I can't control this stuff, and nobody control it. Somebody said that video. Y'all saw the video of Saudi Arabia, the flood. What money them folk got? What they gonna do with that flood? What they gonna do? Buy the water off? These bastards done flew snow in. Y'all know they're creating a winter wonderland in the desert. Y'all ain't see that? Oh, they're gonna let them have the 2028 Winter Olympics there in Saudi Arabia. They are flying ice in, snow. Man, they setting themselves up to be a winter paradise in the desert. You gotta pay for it. Yahuah gotta make them pay. They gotta pay for it. Now he come and flood them out. What good is your oil? What are they gonna do? Put out the oil production and fix it? What you doing, that man? Put all that water with all your money, everything. What can you do? He'll show people. Everybody keep thinking that if you got money, you ain't got to worry about. This man shaking everybody. Listen, 49 and 1 had to get it, or the book of Tyler. He said, here it is. All ye inhabitants of the Iraq, both low and high, rich and poor together. That's how you get their attention. Why would they hear it unless something happened? He got to put these, look at Donald Trump. Think about this. You have just walked out from the highest seat in America, one of the most powerful seats in the earth. Y'all got that? You constantly in court. And you possibly looking at going to prison. What do you think that tell us? Well, those of that feel like, if we just get the right money, if we just get the right position, man, we'll be straight, we'll be protected. He's trying to show us that thinking if we get these people stuff, that we can be them. He take them down right in our face. He take them down right in our face to show us. Ain't no hiding place. For every one of us, there's no hiding place. We got to know how to rule with diligence and how to rule with care. We got to know how to operate the way that man done proposed for. The man taking down everything. He's taking everybody down. That's what I got to tell you. You got to shake everybody. Whatever you call stability, he going to shake it. Every day, every one of us need to feel. Every day you need to feel. That fear, it gives you a precaution that you know when you do things, you realize all this is in that man's hand. Y'all know people that got Alzheimer's. What is Alzheimer's anyway? Memory loss. You don't remember what, I'm going to tell you something, whether you don't know or not. You know, people with memory loss, it happened like that. They went from remember to can't figure it out and can't get it. People say, well, mild, it started like that, but then he just hit you with it. You go from knowing to not knowing. Is this the man you want to play with? You go to knowing how to dress yourself, that somebody got to put your clothes on you. You getting up to knowing the sun up, till you can look at it and you say, "Ooh, it's dark out there." Other people looking trying to figure out, dark. They didn't get in the house. It's late out there. They call that sundown. You don't know what time it is. Y'all know that? And you ain't gonna believe it in the book of Thessalonians. Of the time and the season I came, you have no need, I write unto you, for you yourselves know perfectly well that it's so coming. So how am I know that if this man give me what they call sundial, well, I don't know the sun is up, and I don't know if it's down? What exactly the purpose of that? That I'm going to come on you unaware. I'm going to come on you in a time you think not. You can't play with a man like this. Those watching me, those y'all saying, you can't play with a man like that. You can't play with a man that give you something like that, and now you out of pocket. And let's be honest, how long any of us going to be able to put up with you? Because after all, he did say, save yourself. Save yourself from this, what was it again? Backwards generation. This whole $2 backwards. You got to know how to operate in it, but don't get caught with it. This is a dangerous place to be in, because you got to know how to operate, and it's got to be about always looking at how we benefit one another. I know y'all break protocol. Y'all do it all the time. Some of y'all got to go. Honestly, some of y'all got to go. You can ask me if you want to. If you're just strong enough, you can take it. You ask. But some of y'all got to go, because you're not going to be able to work in unison. And how that thing going to push down and go, it's going to definitely have to be an honor system. It got to be real tight-knitted. I'm telling you, this thing going to get tight. And your money ain't going to get, what you going to do when he flooding out? Most of y'all don't know. Do y'all not know in America, I forgot what state it is, they have thousands of acres of land underwater. Farmland. Did I mention that? So what happened with thousands of acres of farmland underwater? Maybe we're going to grow rice. Who would do something like that? That man puts up, when it come down to people eating and drinking, it get real crucial. Listen, all bets off. All bets off. When people get hungry and thirsty, all bets off. Well, the only man like they can put you in the middle of the ocean and let you die of thirst. I used to watch a movie years ago before I ever went to the ocean. I said, how they thirsty and they in the water? That used to be the dumbest thing when I was a kid. I watched that before. But, so they have a cartoon that had a man, they be so thirsty. You thinking, drink the water, dummy. You're in the water. Only Mr. Yahuah can put you there and you can't even use it. And you definitely want to drink no flood water, because they're going to come with all your sewage too. So you got to look at all the different diseases. Oh, that's flood water. That comes with your sewage too. You can't flood. That's all your, don't forget all your trash dumps that they walk through. So you got needles, trash, other stuff in here, feces. And you know how kind of people use needles: drug addict, AIDS victim, diabetic, cocaine users. So you can drink that water. You should be able to live for a couple of minutes or hours or days or months, however he see fit. Only Mr. Yahuah can do that. Put everybody down in the same position. So when they get everybody down in the same position, it's going to be about what you believe. That's why we really got to lock this thing in our mind. Because what are you going to do when your money can't buy you out? When it flooded out, what can your money do? Your power, we got, say, 25 million people power out. What your money can do? You got to wait like everybody else. If it's a flood, where you going to put the generator on top of the house? There's a hurricane wind, tornado coming, it rip your roof off. There go your solar panel. This man prepared for everything you think you prepared for. He's got an option for it. It won't work. This man will freeze us out in the middle of summer. That's what I'm saying. When you think about all these things he could do, why we keep playing with him? What's the purpose of playing with him? It don't make sense to just succumb to what he tells us to do. It only makes sense because you ain't going to make it. The only way he'll let you keep running, going that long, he's just going to take you down harder. Now you're going to wind up being a marshalee to a lot of us. That's what we've done with other people who left and made a man. You become a marshalee. For those watching, you are a marshalee to us. And that's what we do. We look and say, we don't want to be you. We don't want to be nobody on the outside, can't get on the inside. That's the last place I need to be. I don't know about y'all. Man, I got to be a killer. I don't know nothing else to do with it. I ain't going to get in. I can't get in. I said, I'm going to go home and just keep reading and praying. And the man said he ain't getting in wet. Now he got, so I'm going to say, I got to say, I need you to tell a lie. Now what happened? That's everything gone. The move of Yahushua, that's all of the Malachim, this everything gone. So he said, because you need to get in, I need to tell a lie. That's the only way you can get in. And the only thing is, there's nowhere for you to get in because I told a lie. I had to get rid of everything. Now, how probable is that? Now this is what make it bad. He put me in that situation, right? I'm out, he told me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fast. I'm going to pray. I'm finna get real serious. You know what? I'm going to get a TV out of my house. Anybody I think that, I'm cutting them off. I ain't going to fool with nobody. I'm just finna be just. I'm finna be so serious, man. Listen, I'm just finna lock down, and that's what I'm finna do. And what good they going to do? Perhaps he'll turn. Now if he told you, I say you ain't getting in. You see why we can't afford to play? So now I'll be stuck in a way where he'll put me where I'll keep living right to no avail because I ain't getting in. But I'm going to try anyway. Perhaps he will. Maybe he'll just be a liar like me and lie this one time and let me in. He can't do that. Stick me right there with that. Or let me go off and be a killer. Either way it go, whether I become serious, hard not on living right, or be a serial killer, that make no difference. I'm still going to get you. So now my mind will be so going racing. What do I do? Do I live right? Do I start kidding? Do I smoke crack? What do I do? Only Mr. Yahuah can mess your mind up like that. That's why you can't afford to play. A lot of folks get serious, they get gone. Listen, he hard whom he will. Here's some folks, they said, man, it'd be good to see such come back. I said, I don't know about that one. I said, only Mr. Yahuah made that decision. And I don't have no problem standing flat-foot looking you dead in your eye telling you, you ain't getting in. That's my job. Listen, you don't want that job. This job good. Payday, beautiful. You got to look and tell somebody, you ain't getting in. That's rough. And I got to do it and keep moving. Y'all hear me? I got to do it and keep moving because he got to look at, if you can't do it, I got somebody else who can do it because I don't need you either. At the end of the day, that's only for to give us a warning, let you realize this could be you. And guess what that does at the same time? It creates this heart of fear saying, that could have been me. That could be me out there. Can't get in, he won't let me in. That's why I love it. That's the only way to create that heart of me. I had to see that situation. I had to be a part of that situation and say, this could be easily somebody telling you this. How you feel about me? You ain't gonna believe it. That's why I love him. That was the only way to get it. Because he didn't try to just give me the word. It don't work. Just talk to me, give me a whole bunch of statute, rules. Too many of them. I can't remember no 613 things. I can't remember 613 people. He said, when I create these situations, you'll remember. Matter of fact, you'll want to go over and make sure you don't offend me in one of them. Because you know what I'll do. And that creates that heart. Got it? Make sense? That's two.